Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. As usual, another little bug negative, because I can't start the day without actually running into another negative immediately, and that's Blaterval. Blaterval is a negative for Andromeda. Thank you, Blaterval, as always. Here, I'll send some eye drops immediately, Kraken-san. Yeah, let me write that down. Dragon Age 4, Pokemon Violet, Star Ocean 2R. Thank you. It's the resolution. It's the same issue I had on Anthem. It's the same issue I had on Inquisition. It's the same issue I had in Tor. Resolution issues. So, just to refresh everyone, what that means is every single day when I start up the stream, or start up the game, excuse me, I have to, it starts off like up here. And so every single day I have to do this manually because there are no actual resolution settings. And yeah, I'm almost positive this is a frostbite issue, which I believe means this is our first real, no really style frostbite negative. That being said, I don't think Tor is on frostbite, and Tor still has that issue, so, anyways, moving on.
I'm in the galley when you're free.
I'm always free for you. Where's the galley? I don't know, Act. I don't have any in my memory, which means if they are, they're not very funded. That's engineering, okay. It's still engineering. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised by that. I love how we have a whole space for the Nomad we didn't know we were going to have until we got down to the planet. Okay. How the hell? Okay, so that's the armory. Which means the galley's over there. Okay, so let's do armory first.
I'll talk to someone. Maybe they could use you on comms.
So you get to be with the Pathfinder and I have to watch your radio?
The radio or help Kesh with cleanup.
You like this music on the ship? Don't you like how there's music playing on the ship? Isn't it great?
Oh, hey, Pathfinder.
The Pathfinder's there? Let me say hi.
Fine, but don't embarrass me. Ryder, this is Sid, my sister. Sid, Ryder.
Let me guess. Little sister?
Who are you calling little?
Look, kiddo, gotta go.
Wait, Ryder, I just wanted to know if...
So I know it feels like I just jumped aboard your ship without explanation.
Yeah, also you just cut off your sister from asking a basic question of me. It's honestly kind of confusing.
Now's as good a time as any.
No. I know that I can be of use here. I know everyone on the crew, even the actuators Gil prefers for the ship. Better, I know how to get my hands on them. With me around, your crew's going to be at their best. We've been failing for months, Ryder. Now that we have you, we have a chance out here.
Yep, I'm the big thing that changed everything. I was the missing piece all along. Okay, I legitimately misremembering. Wasn't the Tempest already on their ship? Like, as in, not on our ship, on their ship. Right? Hang on. I'm gonna look that up, because what the hell? No, I'm right. It was on the Nexus. We didn't bring it with us, which means they had the ship, they had the crew, they had the supplies, they had the locations they could go to. They had basically everything they needed to go out and do stuff. Now, hang on. The thing we brought to the table is the AI, because the AI can then interface with the remnant tech, right? So yay, but that appears to be it. The big thing that makes us unique and distinct from everyone else, and far as stuff that we can actually accomplish, is that we have a key. Now, don't mistake me. That turned out to be a good thing. We turned on, the planetary reclamators and everything's cool. Awesome. But, like, why are we the ones who are giving you a second chance? Like, what? Let me put this a different way. Shepard was not the one true savior of the galaxy. She just happened to be the one who did it, right? She was one who was in a position necessary to accomplish that and actually bothered to do it. Cool. I'm with that, right? And usually fiction, I'm not going to name other examples, but usually fiction has some kind of reason why it is we're significant. You know what? Actually, I do have an example. Star Trek. Because we just finished Star Trek, which means it's the perfect time to go ahead and talk about Star Trek. Here we go. So, back in TNG, there are several times where Picard managed to save the Federation, right? That's a thing he did on several occasions with several things. Cool. But the way I'm saying that is very specific. At no point in time did someone show up and say, Picard, you're critical to the existence of the Federation, and not explain it. Picard just went out and actually did it, okay? Over on Enterprise, there's this guy named Archer. And Archer was told multiple times by people from the future that he is the critical linchpin of the future, that the whole Federation hinges on him surviving and him being the savior of the human race. They never earned that. Not once. It was just we were being told that he was the chosen one and that he was important and that everything rested on his shoulders. And that's how I feel about Ryder. At every step of the way, they are constantly licking our butts. And I'm kind of sick of it, honestly. I'm not even sure if I should put this under character, because Ryder doesn't have a character. I guess we'll chalk that up to plot. Because, well, no. We'll just put it under writing. Writing's the most generic negative category I have. It's also funny because we effectively are a chosen one. As a reminder, the chosen one trope, even when it's done right, means you did nothing right. You didn't actually earn that or choose that or work that or whatever. You are the chosen one. So you are destined for this. You were born into it, right? You were built for greatness because you're the chosen one. That's how that works. And hey, we happen to be born to the right father, so that we're the chosen one on that front, and we happen to be the one who got the AI, so we're the chosen one on that one. Neither thing we did. Yeah, we were quite literally born in this. So that actually tracks. That actually tracks. You know, I'm not actually sure, Mr. Red. Because the Chosen One concept goes back to Greek stuff at the very most recently. And I'm not sure how much further back it goes from that. Because, yeah, the Chosen One concept is really, really old. Like, actually, going back to the Archer thing, Archer was functionally a Chosen One based on the way they explained that. Whereas Picard, to again go back to the contrast, is someone who went out and did it. Anyways, sorry. Oh, Nick.
Ability to haggle with the locals? Great. But please tell me you're also good in a fight.
Like I said before, Wrangler, Provisioner, Gunner, and everything in between. I do what I have to. We all have a personal stake in this. If it keeps going the way it's been, we're all dead. I should track down a lead for Gil's actuators. Back channels, you know. We'll chat later?
Okay, hold up. I'm all down for there being a smugglers network and, like, you know, less than legal ways to do things. But also, you've been out here for 14 months. Did you really set up an entire black market in 14 months? Then again, some of the other stuff they set up in 14 months is nonsense, so whatever. I guess I have no real complaints there. Whoop, whoop. Oh yeah, nothing. Who are we trading with? Remember, we haven't met the alien race. By the way, spoilers, there's an alien race here. We haven't met the alien race yet.
And don't give the Pathfinder too much trouble.
Quit worrying, Rushan. It'll be fine.
Right. Have you settled in yet?
Yeah, got all my stuff here.
And your repair kit, spare parts?
I carry that emergency kit you put together all the time.
Good. Good. I'll check in with you later.
See, the thing is, what I could picture is that they need trade because they're incompetent, right? Because allocation of resources and bad management. Sure, but that's trade. That's, hey, I need this and it wasn't allocated to my division. It's not under the... Whatever. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
Don't give the Pathfinder too much trouble. Oh, Rushan.
Who were you talking to?
Kesh, Nexus superintendent, thinks she can boss me around just because she's my granddaughter.
Well, welcome to the Tempest. Trouble's what we do.
Ha! I like the way you think, kid.
Ugh. Someone somewhere shivered when I said that.
Probably Tann. Damn politicians.
Is that all you brought?
You travel lean when supplies are tight and you're on your own.
Where are your friends? The other Krogan?
We found a place to plant our feet, make our own rules. Leaving the Nexus wasn't ideal, but we've managed.
So why did you leave?
Staying became impossible. After the mutiny happened, it was either buckle under Tann's rules or start our own colony. Easy choice. Bad consequences all around.
Not all Krogan left. Your granddaughter stayed.
Good thing she did. Without my Rushan, you wouldn't have had much of a station to tie your ship to. As for me, I'm way more useful out here. Lots to shoot at, for one.
Okay. What's happening here is incompetence. Sorry. So there's something called the shoulder shot. You've seen it 1,000 times. It is the bog standard way to do conversations. You have the camera right here, behind one person's shoulder, facing the person, and then you have another camera behind their shoulder facing back. Now, you don't do this at once. You record, if you're doing live action, for example, you record the scene, one person's lines in one bundle, and the other person's lines in a bundle, then you splice them as if they were talking to each other. It's a very normal way to do that. There's other ways to do that, but that's the bog standard shoulder shot, right? Problem here is something about the way they're doing the angle here is completely wrong. Like, Ryder's facing the wrong way. He takes up too much of the shot, and the contrast of the backdrop is too is too off. And it's going out of its way to specifically show their faces as opposed to the alternative. Like, they could have been doing the exact opposite of this and it might have actually worked a little bit better. But the other problem, and I'm actually with Act on this, is it felt like they were doing cuts back and forth too often. Like, I don't know. That was disorienting me. I know that sounds strange, but like, it was
Your people come first.
Keeping Kesh and our colony safe will always be my top priority. That's why I'm happy to tag along, help make this galaxy a little more hospitable.
Sort of, Mr. Red. So, the people who made this had never made a video game before. They did, however, work on the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which is why the combat's worth a damn. But this is effectively their first game. I think you're right, Tyr, yeah. And as a fresh reminder, procedural stuff...
Crew bunks in here. Cozy, huh? But your room's got more of a view.
Procedural stuff is pretty much never going to be as good as manually crafted, assuming the crafting is good. Kind of a conceit, admittedly. Hello? I don't think we're going to give the garbage tag. I know that sounds strange given how badly it's scoring, but no, this isn't garbage. At least not yet. Ask me again in 5 days. Maybe I'll change my mind on that.
This console reports on the militia's current strike team missions, Pathfinder. Please speak with Tyrion Candros for authorization to participate.
Who? Incompetence plus a lack of support. This game really was left out to dry. 3 months. 3 months before it was dropped and the team was reshuffled and reassigned. Jeez Louise. By the way, I did a little digging. EA has this... I was talking the other day about how EA... I was talking yesterday, excuse me. About how EA isn't like the worst out there. And one of the things I've mentioned a few times is that they treat their people decently. And then someone last night actually pointed out, hang on, how can they treat their people decently if they're firing a bunch of people? And that's a good question. So I decided to look it up. Hang on just a second. Henry Stickmin. Oh, come on, Violet. Well, that sounds familiar. And Dragon Age 4. Thank you, Mizuno Speedruns, very much, as always, for a full year of support. Thank you. Oh God, Daikatana. Oh, Daikatana. I'm old enough to remember Secret of the Stars. Anyways. So, in the latest wave of firings, they did actually fire a decent number of people. I'm not going to defend EA on that. I'm not going to defend anybody on that. However, that is basically what's been happening. The latest waves of firings have been hitting every company. We hear about it in the game development industry because we're gamers and we care about that, but the wave of firings that's been happening for the last 2 years at this point, that's everything. That's the world. That's hitting every industry. So, and we all know why. It is a direct and specific result of COVID, and then stupidity in the immediate wake of COVID. So that's cool. But here's the thing. When this team got fired, a huge number of the people, and I had to start manually tracking down some of these, were not fired. They did what EA usually does. So EA's usual approach is, let's say Mr. Red is a game company, a whole game company. And Mr. Red just made a game, which is... What'd you make, Mr. Red? Head on 2. Wow, you thief. Okay. So, why would you do that? My God, that's so horrible. All right, so you just stole that game, you monster, and and we go ahead and buy you out, and we're like, cool, now go make Head On 3. Now, we may or may not support you, we may or may not give you the backing, but we take care of you and your development staff. Like, we don't require extra overtime. We're not total assholes to you in the office. You know, we have decent meetings, we have decent work-life balance things, there's decent PTO, generally a decent working environment, okay? This is the one good thing about EA I'm talking about here, so, because I've done additional digging into this just yesterday. So we do all that, and then you release Head On 2, and Head On 3. Head On 3 sucks. Congrats. Okay, cool. So, we're going to can your company. Mr. Red, your company is now destroyed. But we don't fire you. Instead, we reallocate you. We find you another spot somewhere else in EA. And that's how EA operates. Like, they do, weirdly enough, try to take care of their frickin' employees. And by ensuring that, you know, they have a decent working environment and they actually have another job somewhere rather than just being dicks and being dicks, respectively. And it's sad that that's kind of the bar. But again, a lot of the developers of Andromeda, like, they shut down BioWare Montreal, I believe, was the team that made Andromeda. But they shut down the company. They didn't fire the people. The people just got reallocated, right? Dragon Age 4 is the exception. They actually did fire several people from the Dragon Age 4 team, and that sucks. And there's nothing nice to say about that, like I said. So, yay for the fact that that sucks. Okay, so... Wow, this requires a lot of stuff. What about this? This also requires stuff that I don't have. Cool, cool. How about weapons? I love how long it takes for a weapon model to load. It's honestly kind of pathetic, really. Oh yeah, that's what I want right there. I want to research a hammer. Guys, how do you make a hammer? Or a sword. Okay, a sword, I'll give you something like that. Yeah, no, exactly, Casual. This game, Andromeda didn't exactly sell super well, but it didn't sell terribly either. And as you say, nothing about this screams terrible game, ironically. Okay, so I don't want any of these, I don't think. These are all guns I'm not going to use, so meh. What about augments? Oh, this is for... okay. Yeah, EA probably recognized it's best to keep their heads down for the most part. Again, don't mistake this as me defending EA. They're still a big company, and basically every big company in the world is awful in one way or another. Agreed on Falkenstein. But that still puts them ahead of the pack. Okay. Damn, okay. Yeah, they've been doing little things lately. It's very strange. I know, right, Spurn? Yeah, Ubisoft is currently being sued by people over the crew situation. I say currently, that suit was filed last December. They made a response to that yesterday, where they have firmly stated their opinion that their players do not own their games, and because they were told that up front, they can't be sued over it. I hope to God they lose that suit, because if they win that suit, that is some very ugly precedents. Oh, here we go. Upgrades. Woo! Yeah, by the way, this is going to sound like the weirdest, tiny little complaint here. Yeah, no kidding, Adam Ciota. You're right. Remember, of all the many things we could lay at Anthem's feet, it also helped ruin Andromeda. There's a chance they'll lose that, Henson. It is specifically in a California court, which is notoriously more pro-consumer, more pro-player than pro-company. But we'll see. Okay, so I had a thought last night. I don't know where this came from. Why are there two movement modes on the Nomad? Don't give me an in-lore answer. I don't care. Why is it that we, the players, have to switch modes in order to navigate on the Nomad? Why did they decide to make that a gameplay decision? And yeah, that's actually exactly what I was thinking, Dakota. I bet you money that it was supposed to be more than just being able to go up a hill, like a relatively not particularly steep hill. Because that's it. That's the only purpose it has is, okay, and then we're good. And we go back to normal mode. And that's it. Jeez, I need 1 billion resources, of which I have none. Cool. But I especially need Omni Gel canisters. Can I just buy those? Is that a thing I can do? Probably not. Nope. Oh well. Now that's an interesting thought, Blake Javal. What if the engine can't handle physics?
Nice place you found.
Clean air, plants, helps me think.
What are you
Something
doing?
on your mind?
Maybe.
What the hell was that?
I know that look. It's just my biotics reacting to all this. I don't normally lose it like that. A huntress should have better control.
Huntress?
Another term for an Asari commando. I was one, before the initiative. Some things stick, though. Like losing the old man.
I know it's not the same, but I'm a good listener.
I hope you're as good at being Pathfinder.
Nope.
I prepped for years as your father's second. Then he chooses you? An untrained Pathfinder and all this mess to fix? The hell was he thinking?
Is
Yeah.
this going to be a problem, Cora?
I don't want a rival. Just answers. It's done. Best I can do now is be your second. Keep your father's mission alive. Then maybe we'll all get what we came out here for.
Yeah, honestly, Cora is probably one of the most consistently decent characters. It's bizarre. We are, of course, going to flirt with her, by the way. Oh, yeah, in case you're wondering, we're going to flirt with everybody. I actually have decided to do that. Someone convinced me that because you can flirt with everyone without any consequences, that for the purposes of testing, we're going to flirt with everyone without consequences.
You, me, side by side? I like the sound of that.
A commando friend said something like that once. I explained I wasn't into women, however admirable they might be.
So
I said I'd still take a bullet for her. We were a team. Look, there's still the mission. A lot of dreams to fulfill.
what brought you out to Andromeda?
Biotics like this. Thinking like an Asari huntress. I never had a place. Best I could be was a useful freak. The initiative was meant to be different. Will be different if this mission succeeds. So I'm seeing it through. It's quiet in here. I can keep the plants watered while I work. First job, see if there's any news on the Asari Ark. If they made it, we could use some Asari expertise. If you want to talk, I'll be here.
God, what's with the camera? Oh, Jesus. This is my camera now. Up here. At the ceiling. Ah! There we go. What? Ah, okay, we're back. I've become the SDO character. Ah! No, the Asari Ark's fine. What are you talking about? So hang on, Loner asked something. The whole biotic thing, right? So instead, making it so that choosing a biotic is still significant for the story, but make it so that instead of a class, you select skills, which is what we do, by the way. All I can come up with was to lock to slots for biotic abilities and lock out skills of non-biotics, which sounds terrible, admittedly, and so I'm not sure how I would implement that either. Like, the problem is, I've said this before, the problem is the biotics thing really shouldn't work in lore, and we shouldn't even acknowledge it. I've actually spent additional time thinking about the whole, hey, I can just magically take you into any class. Just don't even acknowledge it in lore. We have an AI in our head, and the end. Don't even go past that point. Don't even acknowledge it. Complete gameplay and story segregation.
We haven't really spoken since orientation, have we?
It's all been so hectic, but I'm sure things will quiet down soon. Can't be worse than the Nexus.
Because, like, yeah, we currently have one from each. Concussive, cryo, and charge. And, yeah, end statement, I suppose. I guess I'd level everyone else while we're here. Wait, I'm sorry, what? Are you seeing that? Sometimes I could load someone's thing before their model loads. And sometimes I can't. What in the world? Okay, what are you? Concussive, smuggler. Uh, and yeah, sorry, apparently we will not be romancing Korra. Because this actually isn't Dragon Age 2. I'm a little surprised by that, to be quite honest with you. So they're not, or Baldur's Gate 3. They're not all player sexual. I mean, the reason it always bothered me in Dragon Age 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 is because at the end of the day, it's lazy. I know that sounds strange, but it is. It takes less work, less time, less coding, less recording of lines, less direction, less animation, less scripting to just make it so that everyone can romance everyone, the end, right? Just make a romance tag, done. Like, maybe lazy is the wrong word, but it is literally easier. True, Ismira Star. Let's go with poll. It is less restrictive. I'm not as against it as I used to be. I was really pissed in Dragon Age 2 when I found out that everyone was just bi, and that was like, oh, okay. Let's go with that. Liam, my one true love. And yeah, from a gameplay perspective, because that is still gameplay, choices are still gameplay, it actually makes a degree of sense to allow the player to romance whoever the hell they want to, regardless of whoever hell they are, right? There's a logic to it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not as against it as I used to be. I get where they're coming from. I do prefer it from the story angle when it's part of their personality and character, but this is Andromeda. They don't have personality or character, so... I have no idea how Dragon Age worked. I know Inquisition. Inquisition did it weirdly well. Obviously, everyone had their own preferences, but I mean, like romance in general. Like the only romance that was eyebrow raising was Blackwall, which was just as boring as everything else about him. Right, hang on. Sorry. I'm a little slow today. I've got a headache, and I'm tired. So please bear with me as I am terrible. But what I really wanted to do, is it in this screen? Is it this screen? Yeah, here we go. Profiles. Okay, so profiles really are passives. I was right. You could switch profiles, of course, but you don't actively unlock them. You just get them by having certain amounts of points invested in that combat tree. Yeah, no, Vivian not being romanceable made a lot of sense. Hell, you could even romance a non-party member in Inquisition. Do you know how rare that is in an RPG where there's a romance feature, where that's part of the selling point of the game? Where, because, right, like almost every time you could only really romance the people who are the party members. But we can also romance, I can't remember her name, in Inquisition. The diplomat. Josephine, thank you. I can think of her damn name. Josephine's awesome, too. So hang on. If we go with the catch-all, we gain weapon damage, damage resistance, tech, biotic, and power. Tech and biotic recharge speed, increased power restoration and defense, and evades allow you to quickly traverse through solid matter. Well, that sounds like Baldur's Gate 3 at that point, but and honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they were inspired by that. So this one gives damage, accuracy, resistance, clip size, and escalating damage bonus for each character killed. This one gives force, area of effect radius, area of effect damage, area of effect radius, duration, radius, blah, 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 blah. Use biotics instead of that. Vanguard. Melee attacks restore shields. Instead of a jump jet, use biotics again. Hey, DC Maven. I don't know if that even counts as minister. Like, if we're getting into that, that's pulling some serious technicalities at that point. At that point, we have to mention, like, the random prostitutes you could hire back in Neverwinter Nights. I don't think that counts. How do I not have Explorer, though? I should have Explorer. Hang on. Like, I have tech. I've only put the 1 point into it, that's why. Because I don't have points. Okay, yep, alright, we're good. We're found. I better save my game. By the way, I did a couple of off-camera tests of saving. Near as I can tell, it is exactly the same as the one I've heard so much about in Dragon Age 4. The difference is the specific placement of checkpoints, which apparently, and indeed as we've already seen, is not nearly as good. So that sucks. Right, so order of operations. We're going to go and beeline MSQ for a while. And then we're going to do a whole bunch of side stuff afterwards. And that's going to be our approach. That's pretty much the opposite of what I would usually do. But that's how we're doing things. I believe this is where it wants us to... I think? Maybe that? Oh, jeez, I'm not even sure. I don't know, DZ Maven. It's a terrible save system. And just to make the point, obviously, you know, older games, like NES games, have save systems. But to really make the point, Doom 1 allowed you to save projectile location and speed in a quick save. And I will continue and always use that example of why there is no excuse from a programming or code reason to not have proper saves in modern games. Hang on. What is our quest? I actually don't... What are we doing? Journal? Hello? There we go. Okay, yeah. What are we doing? Go to the Nexus. Go to the Nexus. Go to the Nexus. Okay, cool. Where's the Nexus? He's here. You'd be surprised, Jiro. I've looked into save systems before, and obviously there's a bunch of variables to track, but save files themselves are actually pretty easy to design because it's just this variable at these values, and then this variable at this values, and so forth and so on. I'm guessing the Nexus is here. It'd be nice if I could see that rather than being forced to do this cutscene every time. Game, I already have a headache. Don't do this to me. Okay, hang on. I'm not gonna look at that.
Familiar territory.
The Nexus has been here for months. Still not enough time to survey it all.
Don't worry. I've got seconds. Hey, look, there's that black hole. Check it all. Check it out. There's a black hole, guys. There's a black hole.
Deploying probe. I found something.
It's element 0. There you go, Trihexia. We have element 0. That actually might be a Blade of All. Because if you think about what Frostbite's designed for, which is FPSs, that is to say multiplayer FPSs, they don't have to save, like, anything, really. Except for, like, your profile preferences and, like, maybe a loadout or two, and that's it. But yeah, so let's jot down some seconds and minutes stuff here. Those negatives are... those are looking great. Can we get rid of that blinding glare there? Jesus. You don't need to show me the... Okay. Hey, there's like 6 quests here. God, I don't know, Blade of All. Can't skip this either, by the way. Oh, yeah. I decided to do some research off camera. You ready for the big...
Is it true? We're settling EOS.
We've thought that before.
But EOS is different now, right? Pathfinder.
All right, settle down. Give him space. Lieutenant Syax, Kendros' aide. They all wanted to see you. Real hope again. It's been a while.
That's right. We're the super amazing person who has saved everyone's lives. And no, I cannot Blade of All.
They've got a Pathfinder again. This is what we do.
Oh my god.
You've done it splendidly.
This is Hirik, one of the scientists from the tech lab.
What you achieved with that remnant vault is unprecedented, Pathfinder. Impossible. But with new scientific talent waking up, we'll unravel those mysteries. The whole Nexus will benefit.
August Bradley will oversee that. He's the new mayor.
Bradley. I know him. Seems like a good man.
Well, what are you waiting for? There's a new world out there.
Thank you, Ryder.
Could you do voice acting? Just like you've got the voice part down. I need you to work on the acting side of the equation. Oh my god. Yep, that's it, by the way. That's the consequences for the choice we made. So I decided to look it up, and I was curious what was going on. So I'm going to spoil, okay? Big spoilers, like super main plot spoilers, okay? I'm not actually joking. This is it. So, there's a precursor race. I've already forgot what they're called. They're not the Remnant. The Remnant are the things the precursor race built. And some enemy they were fighting, which we've had interviews off camera that state it was not the Reapers, but some enemy they were fighting detonated some kind of bomb, and that caused the Scourge, you know, the energy stuff, at which point the precursor race decided to abandon the system.
The vortex. Let life take you for a spin.
That's it.
I don't know. Maybe I should have stayed home.
That's it.
Hi, I'm Jen Garson, founder of the initiative. Welcome to the Nexus.
Top scientists have
Going through integration processing.
Oh, you're probably wondering, how does Archon tie into that? Oh, that's easy. See, Archon, he thinks he can use Remnant tech in order to gain an edge over his fellow Ket.
Please have a look around.
That's it. That's his big scheme. Use precursor tech to claim a bigger piece of his pie. Oh god, I'm actually turned around. Do I have a map? I do have a map. Okay, hang on. It's a terrible map, but it's a map.
Sure glad I went.
What's the trouble?
I've got power shortages throughout the station. I can't for the life of me find the cause. Oh, whoa, you're the Pathfinder. Hey, sorry, please ignore me. You've got way more important things to do.
No, I can help you. Dude, I'm a PC. This is my job.
Power to the Nexus is pretty important. I'm happy to help.
That's great, because I'm at a loss. There are obvious short circuits cropping up all over the place. A Pathfinder's eye might reveal something.
There's a power short here. We could scan the area.
Yeah, by the way, I hope you've caught on to this by now, because, and I mean this with a total lack of hyperbole, no exaggeration. You know, I'm not trying to bump it up to make it sound funnier. The thing that makes us special, other than the fact that we were born to the right person, is Sam. The AI is the only reason we can do anything. That's where our combat abilities come from. That's where our ability to interact with remnant tech comes from. That's where this scanning thing comes from. Now, I know what you're thinking. How's that different from all the other things, like the worm in your head, or, you know, I guess being a super prodigy with the Force, and I don't know. I guess at the face of it, it's not actually all that different. But for some reason, it just keeps bothering me that the only thing that makes us anything is the freaking AI in our goddamn head, you know? Like, we really are just the tool that Sam is using to go get stuff done. No, they're dead now, Yura. They're dead. Although they did destroy his brain on the way out. Not a joke, by the way. Oh my god, you're right. We're a tech, bro. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that also makes us the leader. You know, once again, these story points I just mentioned could actually work if they did anything with them. Like, maybe people aren't exactly happy, but Sam is effectively forcing the situation. Maybe we're not even happy about it, but Sam is kind of forcing us. Like, you don't even have to make Sam evil. Just make Sam very, very pragmatic, right? Like a program would be. I am just trying to make sure that the Pathfinder initiative succeeds. That means we cannot afford any of the usual quibbles about lines of chains of command. You are now in charge because you are the one who has access to me. Any questions? And then you can have a dialogue option, which is something like, yeah, hell yeah, I have questions. This is awful. We should be able to run our own affairs. And then the dialogue that comes out of your mouth is something different. Like, yes, I understand completely. No issues. Just to really demonstrate how much Sam is actually, you know, in the pilot seat. Oh my god, I already hate this quest. I already hate this quest. Is this what side quests are like? Is this it? Is this my life? Yeah, like lean into it, right? This whole setting just screams horror. For lack of a better way to phrase that. Do something with it. Go away, go away, go away. No, I got it on the Switch. I wanted the Star Fox stuff. Oh god, it's another task. Why do games have tasks? Why does any game have tasks? Oh god, yeah, we could have two completely separate story arcs depending on how we, the player, decide to go with it. Oh, that's horrifying. I mean, that sounds like Detroit Become Human, but like in a good way, right? Okay, that's a bunch of junk. So where's my quest? Connor. That's his name. I loved Connor, although I'll admit his actor is a huge reason why.
I'll make it right, Dash. Pathfinder, I'm Nigel McCoy. Just got out of cryo.
Welcome to Andromeda, Nigel.
Thank you. It's bittersweet, though. My little brother Dash was stationed on the Nexus. I just learned he died on Eos, trying to start a settlement.
That's awful. I'm sorry, Nigel.
Yeah. We were gonna start families out here together. I have a pendant our father wore. Dash had its match. Will you reunite them?
Of course.
In his digital journal, he mentioned a spot on Eos where he'd go to think. If you could leave the pendant there.
Ask! Well, we might do that when we go back to Eos. Maybe. Yeah, tasks are almost universally outside the purview of PFR. We pretty much never do tasks. Hell, most games don't even have tasks. Oh god, I don't know where I'm going. Operations, maybe?
Top scientists have few answers, as the dark energy anomaly known as the Scourge limits travel and communication in the cluster. This is Agent S.
What's funny, by the way, Mr. Red, you will probably be amused by this, is the term tasks originates from Lotro. That's what they first called the side quests of side quests. And that's where my own dividing lines come. You've got MSQ, you've got primary optional, you've got secondary, and then you've got tasks. Oh my god, it's too quiet! Ah!
Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
Lotro was unironically revolutionary. Pretty bad, but it started a lot of things.
Hey, you okay?
I'm fine. My arms got the brunt of it.
Stuff exploding like this happen often?
Back right after the mutiny, we had a lot of this happening. But not lately.
I wasn't there during the mutiny.
Lucky. I thought we were done with this, honestly. That maybe I was just being paranoid.
What is there to be paranoid about?
We've had 3 malfunctions in the past week.
That's not good. Sorry. Understatement.
Yeah. And now I have more to bears.
Oh yeah, the Asheron's Call is kind of in the same boat. I don't talk about all the stuff that AC innovated, but trust me when I say it's actually a lot. And then they moved on to DDO, which pushed forward things, and they moved on to Lotro, which pushed other things, and blah blah blah. And none of those games I just mentioned are particularly good in a vacuum.
Whoever's doing this has to be stopped before someone gets seriously hurt.
That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm an engineer, not a PI. I've scanned all the potential sabotage areas I can think of. But I don't know who to trust anymore.
Sounds like a lot went down before the Hyperion docked.
Yeah, I guess. Wait, that's it. You can't possibly be involved in this.
Are you asleep?
You weren't even here during the mutiny. Would you, if you have time? Maybe you could help me. If they start hitting critical systems.
Sure thing. What can I do?
If you could scan these other panels.
Look at his face. I hate to keep ragging on it, but look at his face.
Locations to your Omni tool. Just send me the data when you're done.
Yeah, his eyelids are literally drooping.
Pathfinder, do you have just a minute?
What?
Ryder, isn't it? Kerry Tavessa, freelance vidmaker. This is Hakeem, my producer. I could use your help.
Sure.
What are you looking for?
Director Tann's asked for an uplifting documentary on the initiative. Translation, paint rainbows over our problems. But our problems are history. People deserve the truth, not propaganda.
Nice to see someone so devoted to her work.
That's kind. Sometimes the camera makes people shy away from me.
That's a shame.
So that's what I need. The truth, I mean. Someone needs to record the history we're making.
It takes integrity to record the truth and nothing but.
Well, I do my best. And you could help me out.
The merchant in the background just spinning randomly in place.
I want the dirt.
I'd stop doing that. Do you see how that keeps happening? The black bars, I forget what they're called, keep flickering away for like a frame and then coming back into render. That's happened several times in just this conversation.
Okay, interview away.
Let's start at home. 14 months and the Nexus still isn't finished. Arcs are missing, we have people in exile. By any standard, this wasn't the plan. Our leadership describes these as anticipated issues. Would you agree?
Yes. Do you have any goddamn idea how insane it is that we thought we could build this station in 2 months?
All expeditions have to deal with supplies, enemies, or, hell, just getting lost. We'll deal with all of them. We just need time.
Tann will love that. But if that's your take, that's what goes in. Bandwidth means I'm transmitting in short bursts, so that's all for now. But you can bet I'll have more questions later. This was more fun than I expected.
Now this is an appropriate song for this area.
I'll get to work editing.
Blade Travel asked a question I'd like to share with the crowd. Which is your preference? Having a completely blank slate, BioWare, in a BioWare RPG specifically, or a BioWare style of RPG. Would you prefer the main character as a completely blank slate, or would you prefer it's someone who is a defined character, who you then, determine your flavor of? For a bit of comparison and example, both Shepard and the Warden are the latter.
Supply request is in. Meds, mail, and MREs coming your way.
Yeah, I agree with that, Act. One way or another, commit. If you're going to do one, do one. If you're going to do the other, do the other.
Good to see you. Hello. Director Tann is expecting you.
Last
That's
time I was
nice.
here, this was a storage closet.
Pathfinder Hall just needed a Pathfinder to open.
We're still getting the commons area ready. Hydroponics is only at partial capacity.
Not good enough.
We don't have enough people. My workers need a break, Tann.
I sympathize, but not until our survival is no longer at risk. Now please excuse me while I meet with our Pathfinder. Hey, Ryder. Addison told me about the outpost. You're the hero of the hour.
Hold up. I need to get a music that's more appropriate for this particular individual. One moment, please.
Let's hold off on the celebration. We haven't found home yet.
Oh, there's no need for modesty. Success affords leverage over those who doubted you.
And you're my best friend.
A patron. One who shares your vision of a prosperous future.
Okay, that fits more than it should.
Due respect, Director Tann, but you don't know me.
Oh, I think I do. Your ingenuity speaks for itself, Ryder. Deciphering the vault, alien terraforming. It's not how we imagined all this, but a good Pathfinder improvises. And a great one hangs it on the wall. Yours are the first trophies to grace Pathfinder Hall. You're a symbol now, Ryder. A reason for people to believe.
God, it really works too well.
It wouldn't have been possible without my crew. They're a talented bunch.
But you're their beacon.
Careful, you'll end up adopting you, Ryder.
Ah, my staff.
Colleagues, you wouldn't be looking to cut us out, would you, Tann?
I remind you, I am the director of the initiative.
Acting director.
This isn't the time for arguing over who gets to be king. Too much is at stake. We should be cooperating.
That's what I've been saying since we arrived.
Then I look forward to winning our Pathfinder's support.
I have concerns about your decision on Eagles Rider. An outpost full of scientists won't do as much good if the Kett attack.
But it will help support the Nexus. Improved research could help feed our people.
And we could argue about it all day long, as we always do. The decision was made. Now we move on. What is your plan for moving on, Ryder?
We have a lead on the terraforming network. I need to take the Tempest deeper into the sector to investigate. If the other Golden Worlds are where they should be, this could get us closer to them.
Careful. The Kett are scouring the cluster for remnant technology. You'll end up in a fight, for sure. You might also run into exiles. They didn't leave the Nexus on good terms.
And we still need more outposts. They're important to expanding the station.
Though with missing, this could be a chance for Ryder to search for them.
Here's the in-game music.
Yes, I think that's best. You have my permission.
I wasn't really asking for it.
Of course. I support that kind of enthusiasm.
Right.
Yeah, this is the in-game music that was playing during that cutscene.
This is Harry, back on the Ark.
Go ahead.
We may have found a way to talk to your brother, sort of. Drop by when you can. Hyperion Medbay.
Will do.
Pathfinder, we are to contact Director Addison as soon as possible.
Right. She had something that could help with our job.
I think I'm going to give a negative for the quest log, too. Not only am I having issues already, but I remember distinctly having issues last time. It's one of the biggest reasons I walked away from doing the side quest, was because I just kept getting frustrated about figuring out what to do and where to do it. So, I also prefer having a pre-existing character that you decide the flavor of. The biggest reason why is actually something we've talked about recently. World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV. I prefer the character I'm playing being part of the narrative. I accept the fact that I sacrifice, like the cost of that is that I no longer have total control over that character. I have taken control of another character, and that other character is part of the narrative. That's the benefit. That's my personal preference, and that's why. You know, I'd rather play one of the Origins from Dragon Age Origins than I would play, I don't know, the main character from Oblivion, I guess is a random ass example of that. Let's go back to town music here. Come on. There we go. Where's this stupid quest? Blank slate characters can work, but I mean, who's more engaging? Cecil or any Dragon Quest main character? You know? Yeah, no kidding, Shadow Machine. Like, there's a quest here. I know there's a quest here because I came in here to do this quest. Notice nothing indicates it. Other than just doing it.
Pathfinder, to cover their tracks, the Saboteur is overloading power to this panel from another junction relay. You can scan and trace the connective wiring to locate the surrogate panel. Scanning power junction relays. This panel is malfunctioning. Without more data, I cannot determine if this is a normal malfunction or sabotage.
I'll just disable power to the panel until Raj can check it out.
Whoops. Game.
scan and trace the wiring to locate the panel that the Saboteur used.
You're listening to HNS, your source for news.
Pathfinder, I received the data from Sam. It really is sabotage.
Idea as to who it might be?
Yeah. All these panels were worked on by Zara. I just can't believe it.
Security video logs confirm that Zara Kellis worked on these panels, as well as the one Raj Patil encountered.
Well, shit. Any idea where she is now?
Kellis is currently working on a panel on the Hyperion main deck.
Hey everyone, we found the Saboteur! Is this better, Blade Travel? Actually, I'm with Esmerista. In Baldur's Gate 3, you can play a completely blank slate character, and honestly, it's pretty boring. At least playing as the Dark Urge gave us some kind of backstory, you know? I should mention, it's not as binary as I'm making it sound, and I apologize for that. There's a bit of a gradient in between a completely pre-existing character, Geralt in Witcher 3, and a completely blank slate character, main character in Oblivion. Like, there's lines in between those two, you know? Like you mentioned Inquisition, there is some flavor to the Inquisitor, depending on your race and a bit of your backstory. In Origins, you're relatively blank slate, except for the fact that you gain additional options based on which origin you picked. And some of those origins have more characterization than others. Can't wait for the Mario Kart blocks, by the way. I'm just going to say that. And not just because that new Mario Kart was announced and it looks really, really good. Hawk is more towards the Geralt side of things. Hawk is a pretty predefined character. The problem with Hawk is how well written she is. Depends entirely on like the individual scene and the individual options. Yeah, Hawk is predetermined, but sometimes you can do a lot to determine your flavor of Hawk, and sometimes not so much. As with so many other things that needed another polishing pass, which of course Dragon Age 2 did not get. But you're right, this is too upbeat. We need something more doomy and gloomy. Let's see. Sure, I don't care, whatever. J'accuse!
Yes? I have evidence you've been sabotaging the Nexus.
What? No, I've never... I've been looking into this myself. I have the scans to prove it. Here. I'll transfer the scans I took to your Omni tool.
Funny. Raj was investigating the same thing, and it led us to you.
My scans point at Raj as the one. So unless someone was setting us both up, I just don't understand.
The data Miss Kellis has accumulated is strangely similar to Mr. Patel's. A third party seems likely.
Looks like someone is using both you and Raj to cover their tracks.
They'd need pretty high-level access for that. Still, it's better than thinking Raj could have done this. But it means all the data I have is useless. Wish I had access to the security cams. I bet we could find something there.
You stay put, so whoever did this doesn't realize we're onto them. I'll check out the security cams. Raj, you there?
Yes. How did it go? Is it really her?
Wasn't her. She had proof pointing at you. I figure someone's been messing with you both. Just keep a low profile and don't talk to anyone. I'm on it.
Not counting the newest one? Oh, that's actually tough, Yura. By memory, I would pick the GameCube one. But I have extremely fond memories of going through that in the do every single cart and get gold in every single track on super hard mode with a friend. Because the GameCube one had co-op! The one feature I've been wanting to come back to Mario Kart for years and has never come back. Whoops. But you know me, co-op pretty much always elevates a game. Unlike Mr. Red, where co-op always detriments a game. Thank you, Johnny. Always appreciate. Much obliged. And if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. But yeah, even ignoring the co-op, which, to be clear, was awesome, I would say the GameCube one is still probably my second favorite. Like, no real jokes, no memeing. The GameCube one was really good. Good tracks, good carts, good parts, good power-ups.
The victim's name has been withheld until next of kin in the Milky Way is notified.
I also liked the Wii one and the 3DS ones, which I believe was just Wii and 7. I look forward to seeing how the reviews actually line up once we get there.
This file is useless. Let's check another. And another scrambled file.
Coincidence seems unlikely.
Let's check another. This file is also corrupted. Definitely not a coincidence. You'd need pretty high clearance to mess with the security camera files. Somebody working for Kandros, maybe.
That is the most probable scenario.
Think you can get enough out of the files to find a match using biometric scans, Sam?
The files were badly scrambled, but if I combine all the available identifiers, it might work. Based on the limited information available, we are looking for a human male, assigned either to the Nexus or Hyperion. You will need to conduct scans from close proximity.
Got it.
So, you want to hear something funny, Blades of All? Can you guess my least favorite Mario Kart?
Biometrics do not match.
Yeah. Hate is strong. Least favorite is a better way to phrase that. But the N64 one has always been at the bottom of my list, personally.
This person is not a match.
Well, that's actually a tough question to answer. So, first, the tracks aren't nearly as interesting as they probably should be. Like, it was the early 3D one, and so the transition into 3D was honestly pretty rough. Most of the tracks, in terms of sheer design, are legitimately less interesting than the SNES ones to me. Because the SNES ones had obstacles and power-ups and unique gimmicks and all kinds of fun, cool stuff, and the N64 one didn't. I mean, even the big one, Rainbow Road, is just a really, really, really long track, and that's it, right? Yeah, Rainbow Road is just kind of... I think the graphics have something to do with that. Using claymation sprites didn't work for me as well as I'd like for it to. Not the only game I can complain that about. Like, several N64 games aren't actually 3D. They're just... They took a picture of something 3D and then used that as actual sprites. I guess that's actually kind of it. Like I said, it's not a game I hate. It's just... It didn't do much that really excited me, especially after the original. I actually wasn't anticipating liking the GameCube one. And then the GameCube one came out, and it was freaking amazing, so I don't know what the hell happened there.
Scan results show a partial positive.
Oh, we found our mark. This is it. It's time to confront the villain.
Assigned to station security.
Dale Atkins, right? We need to talk.
Look, not to be rude, but I have work to do.
We know what you've been up to. You're done here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just doing my job, that's all.
Proof says you've been up to no good.
Figures. Screw this. Screw all you hypocrites on this station. You weren't here when they kicked out our loved ones. Mutiny? We just wanted answers. My sister is out there. I don't even know if she's alive or...
I'm sorry for what happened, but setting explosives isn't the answer.
Neither was sending people into exile because they didn't agree with policy. I don't care what you think. The mutiny leaders were right to demand to know what was going on.
You could have hurt people. Killed them.
Like those who got killed when the leadership had the Krogan stomp on my friends? I'm done talking. I confess, it was me. Do whatever you want.
Not my call. The Nexus leaders will make that decision.
That lot make a decision? That'll be the day.
Quest and that is it. That's it. That's quest complete. That's a side quest? Oh, God. How do you fire people here? Well, first you get your firearm. Now, you know one thing that I will, give you, Blade Traval, that the N64 version does better than, honestly, most of the Mario Karts. Sorry, one second, hang on. For some reason, this is taking a long time to load. Music. What the hell was that? There we go. I actually own this soundtrack. I own the CD. So that was it? Like that's it. We're done. Ping to you, Flygand. Who has better voice acting, this or Starfield? This. A lot of people really forget just how bad Starfield was.
Pathfinder has died. Alec Ryder was killed after touching down on Habitat 7 in the Erickson system. Ryder's daughter has reportedly replaced him as Pathfinder, taking command of the Tempest.
That's a good question, Henson. As I mentioned before, I kind of gave up on doing side quests my last playthrough, so I'm not actually sure. Oh hey, its face is tired. You ready for it?
You've shaken things up, Pathfinder. My department actually has Colonial affairs.
Wow, her face is moving this time.
New tools to help grow the initiative. AVP, ready for spending.
Sam said there was new functionality to discuss.
It's how the initiative was designed to support the Pathfinder. You and your team are out there making Andromeda viable. That empowers all of us. Hit a threshold. A new cryo group can be brought out. Want more focus on research, like on prodromos? That's your call. Brecker will introduce the interface and handle minutiae. All you need to do is decide what life in Andromeda means. No pressure.
So that's... Really? Just the one, actually. So, some of you probably don't remember how this used to be. Back at launch, the facial motion wasn't, and I mean wasn't, like, they literally had no real facial animation. They would just have a completely static face while their lips would move occasionally, and that's it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't that what we just saw? No, you're not listening to me. Their faces wouldn't move. There was a bug. They actually talked about this. They even did a little interview thing, like, hey, we found a bug with the frickin' facial animations. And so their faces weren't triggering. Like, the animations were not triggering. And so they were just Barbie dolls whose lips occasionally moved, and that's it. Now, this isn't good facial animation, but it's less bad.
Hello, Pathfinder. I am Cryo Deployment Administrator Vladimir Brecker.
Chekhov!
Your first task is to decide irrevocably the course of every life in the initiative.
You're kidding?
Yes, of course. But now you respect what we're doing. Andromeda viability and the Nexus thresholds are your tools, your reward, and our future. How can I help?
So I decide what groups to wake up. Won't everyone be out eventually?
Absolutely. But there's an order to things, a lines of support. You can't deploy an omelet without first deploying eggs, and eggs won't get you a steak. Except it's people and how all our lives begin.
Uh-huh.
How are you measuring thresholds?
It's based on resource estimates and the general stability, a metric of acceptable scope and risk. The more you achieve, the greater capacity we can accommodate, the more the initiative can do for you. Simplest explanation, the more you do, the more room we have to grow.
I know what you're thinking. Laura, this music's overpowering, this incredible dialogue. Could you get rid of it? No problem. Here's the in-game default music and the wonderful voice acting.
What's the rundown on AVP?
Much of the preparation in the Milky Way was determining how to measure success. Thresholds are about capacity, but this is about cost, what we can actually afford to support. Points aren't the most elegant system, but it makes it clear. The more you earn, the more we can deploy.
Yeah, what?
All right, Brekka. Where do I start?
The interface is active and will respond only to a Pathfinder. It's ready for your first selection. You may begin shaping the initiative at your leisure.
So yeah, we can, yeah. Oh yeah, real-time missions, because we didn't learn our lesson from Inquisition. I actually forgot about these. Yes, Henson. How did you know? It's not quite a mission table. It's just, well, stuff's going to happen periodically, and that's how that's going to be. And now in 45 minutes, we'll get new research points. So it's kind of like missions, except you don't send out the missions, they just happen periodically. And they can only be collected if you go back up to your ship, because screw you, go waste your time with load screens.
Yes, Pathfinder?
So how are you doing?
How has the Nexus reacted to the foothold I've established?
We send them where you signal, because that's where the need is. There's no time for preference.
How are we doing on the viability front?
Struggling. Need I remind you that viability isn't abstract, it's lives, our foothold. Get out there, Ryder. Pathfind, we're dying.
I have info on a specific sleeper I'd like brought out of cryo.
I want to avoid that entirely. For reasons.
Reasons, that's it?
Look, you're the Pathfinder. If you've a request for your extended team, that's a request you can make. Access the sleeper records through Brekka's console. It's none of my business. Until you make it a problem for me. Understood?
Okay. Well, whatever. No, they're not required. They're just, you know, the side thing. Hoggle. Jesus. So here's our scintillating in-game music.
This is a nightmare. It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political.
Hang on.
He's locked up and slated.
Yeah, hang on. I'm very concerned about your concern. Hang on. Sam, could you start playlist number 3365, please? Thank you. No, not that one. This one. There we go.
Exile, huh? Guess it wasn't for having a hand in the cookie jar.
They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda. But the dead man was his friend. He wouldn't have. There are witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Milken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Milton I love him.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay. God, I'm just, like, town music is too upbeat. I need something more atmospheric. Where's my Metroid playlist? Actually, before we do... I just realized there's a test we haven't done yet.
Help you?
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilk and Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilkan, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanted to chat with you.
The Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
Your wife's all broken up over this. She says you didn't do it, and that she loves you.
She's a wonderful person. At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
So when he was killed, people assumed you did it?
For good reason. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and... I guess I panicked and fired. A witness saw the chief's chest explode.
Sounds like an accident.
That's what I told them. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
I'll check out the evidence. Maybe something doesn't add up.
It'd be nice to have someone with an open mind looking at it. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
Yeah, we have long since hit the TTQ here off the deeper end.
That's the console for our strike teams.
What are they?
Assault and extraction squads. When we need the best, I have Apex, combat experts who've signed up to defend us. Since you have a front row view of the cluster, I can give you authority to dispatch them.
I'll deploy your people carefully, Kandros.
Appreciate that, Ryder. But trust me, Apex can handle themselves. Authorization complete. Good luck out there.
There's the strike missions.
Secure message from intelligence.
Glad to see you finally. I hear you've been busy out there.
That's one word for it.
Anyway, welcome to Militia HQ. Excuse the mess. This office fields militia work, Nexus security, and looking for the Turian Ark.
What's the word on the Turian Ark?
Scattered readings. Some indicate the Natanus was destroyed, others that people are alive. Who knows? If you need anything, come see me, even if it's just a vent.
How do you see with the neon lights on your armor? Asking for a friend. Okay, Marwin's nice and all, but I got a better idea.
I spoke with Nilk and Rensis, the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
So there was a trial, and he was found guilty.
It was short and decisive. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
That is the difference between murder and accidental death.
In this case, motive plus opportunity plus eyewitness account equals murder. Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Okay.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
Normally I'd talk to you more, but I kind of don't want to. I'm gonna do anything else instead.
The Nexus versus Colonist Nilkin, Evidence 7A.
Hiram! Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation!
We're not giving up, Nilkin. We're taking it back.
No! I'm not letting your ego get us killed! Even if I have to... No! Get him off me! Get him off me!
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for reports and updates.
Yeah, by the way, just really think about the logic here. So, this guy has an argument, okay? And then they have an entire rebellion, a mutiny, at which they win, and then they exile the people off planet, or off ship, to go wherever. And then, the guy who is still in holding is someone they still haven't exiled. This guy, right here. Everything about that doesn't make sense. Like, I could see how that could happen. But that takes a hell of a thread of events for him to still be in holding this entire time.
Cassidy Shaw? I'm Sarah Ryder. I'm looking into the Nilkin murder case.
Oh man, I thought that was over with.
Yeah, like months ago.
Audio recording of their fight?
Yes.
I helped pull him off Chief Reynolds. You could see it in his eyes. He was gonna kill him. Then in the sandstorm, I had a pretty clear view of the chief. He looked right at Nilkin and shouted, "No." Then his chest burst open. I'll never forget it. The look on his face was pure shock.
Did you see any Ket in the vicinity?
Nilkin said so, but not that I could see. Still, the sandstorm was severe. Visibility wasn't great.
Did Nilkin seem remorseful?
I lost sight of Nilkin in the turmoil. When we found him, he seemed in shock. He couldn't speak. He looked nauseated. Could have been guilt. The reality of the act sinking in.
Uh-huh.
If they'd fought and Nilkin threatened to kill him, why was Reynolds surprised?
Fronts fight, say things they don't mean, maybe even hurt each other. But you don't expect your best friend to shoot you. To me, that's the saddest part. The chief's heart was broken right before it exploded.
Reynolds was leading you back to retake the compound. Did you agree with that?
It wasn't my place to agree or disagree. He was ranking officer.
That is not what I asked.
It is ironic. If he hadn't been killed, we all probably would have died.
I appreciate the information.
Of course. It kills me we had to leave him behind. He deserved a proper funeral.
So the body was never examined? Important piece of a murder investigation.
Tann wouldn't allow a mission to go back for him. Said it was too dangerous.
You know what that means? Time to go talk to the worst voice actor in the game, and by golly, that is saying something.
Hello, Pathfinder.
Must be great to see all your hard work on display.
You've had a year to think about it.
It's the Scourge, Director Tann. Its origin defies all known explanation.
How? We brought all that equipment along.
And the Tempest's readings are helping, but we've just scratched the surface.
The history of the initiative cannot show that we were defeated by a space cloud.
Some things are bigger than we are.
I will not accept that excuse. This is science, and your merry band over there are scientists, aren't they? Figure it out.
Goodbye, Director.
Ryder, you're off to a promising start. I meant what I said. You are a symbol now of hope, that things will get better. But until we find the other arcs, a cloud hangs over the initiative.
Any idea where they went?
Nothing certain, but tens of thousands of colonists are unaccounted for. It paints the initiative in an unflattering light. Did you have some other business?
I'm looking into the Nilkin Rensis murder charge.
And?
I want to go to Eos and retrieve Chief Reynolds' body.
That isn't usually Pathfinder business.
First murder in Andromeda, and I'm impartial. Figured you'd want to get it right.
I think we already have, though physical evidence will only bolster the case.
The more certain we can be, the better.
All right, but let's keep it quiet. I don't want people thinking we're reopening the case. I hope anything you find reaffirms what's been done, but if it sheds a different light, we'll deal with it. We'll send the coordinates of the murder scene. Good luck.
Okay, that was less opposition than I was expecting. Hey, I can talk to him more. Hey, does anyone want me to talk to him more so we could hear his scintillating tones just a little bit more? Let's just do one. Just one. Let's listen to him talk about himself.
As director of the initiative, are you in charge around here, or what?
If the others would allow me, they don't see me as the rightful successor.
So how does anything get done?
In theory, Kesh handles the Nexus's physical operations, Kandros runs the militia, and Addison manages Colonial affairs. I oversee all of it. In practice, we argue, debate, and yell at each other until a decision is made. If we're lucky. It is maddening.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Gian Garson. Our founder was charismatic, eccentric, larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management. Then all 7 leaders above me died. I was next in line for the role.
You were the deputy assistant of revenue management.
So, you're an accountant?
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours, and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the initiative, and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure that you do.
Right. Sorry. That's all. Thanks for your time.
I'm happy to help. You will find our futures depend on each other's success. Good luck.
Right. Okay.
Guess this is your place now. Everything we
Wait, what, Cora? Sorry. Couldn't hear over you grousing again.
Whole mood of the Nexus has changed since Eos. You really can feel it. New outpost, a Pathfinder's help, people waking up. It's a fresh start.
Third time's a charm, if you happen to have a Pathfinder around.
Can't always rely on luck. From here, it's hard work. But it's damn good to know we're on the right track.
Right. Okay, so hang on. Okay. Well, hang on, wait, what? Is that it? That is it. Okay, God. Alright, whatever. Can I just fast travel there? Is that a thing I could do? Can I fast travel? That would really speed this up. No? Please? Okay. Yeah, everyone's so optimistic of our first week of Attempt 3. Don't worry, this time things are going to be different. This time we have the Chosen One with us. It was bad luck to be them. Please don't actually sing that. I don't want that song stuck in my head. What the hell was that? It's gone now. Weird.
Apex personnel, please check. Species are at odds.
Why is there no music? Oh God, it's driving me insane the longer I'm on this stupid station. Get me out of here.
Pathfinder, got a minute?
No.
So this is what you and Ryder do for fun. Explore weird vaults that try to kill you.
Listen, we paid good money for that animation. We got to show it off, DZ Maven.
Pathfinder, making the rounds. Slumming it, huh? Want to see how the riffraff are making out?
Hey, this is the most important part of the ship.
Whoa, don't tell me they put someone smart in charge for a change. I am at your command.
Just want to see how things are going with the ship.
I can coax more out of this baby than some might think, but we shouldn't go too far or push too hard between Nexus stops. For now. It just feels good to be stretching our wings, you know? Locked and idle too long, you start to drift. People, same as ships. Stuck on the Nexus, gotta say, I was regretting joining the initiative.
I doubt you were the only one.
Yes, but it's a new thing for me, regret. I tend to live the way I work. Kind of feel it, do it. Not a lot of close ties, no real sense of purpose. Figured maybe I'd find my true calling in Andromeda. Then I got here and, oops, I just made a decision there's no turning back from. I was going nuts in that station. You can't know how jazzed I was when you showed up.
Well, you know the rule. We gotta flirt.
Happy to be of service. I think you'll see that showing up is only one of my many talents.
Oh yeah? You're not hitting on me, are you?
Thought I was. Is it not one of my many talents?
I'm just not susceptible, if you know what I mean. Liam's more my speed. Well, if he wasn't such a tool.
Got it. Sorry.
No sweat at all.
Wow! Shot down twice in a row!
Deal.
Oh my god! Oh, wow! That's great. That's great. Ryder, nobody wants you. Yeah, also hell of a burn on Liam, too. Jesus. Universe of StarCraft. No, just call it the Caprulu sector. Actually, that would be terrible optics. You don't want to do that. Because nobody could spell it or pronounce it.
Pathfinder, help me with something?
Oh no, I've got to flirt with Liam. No.
Plus, the fabric diffuses the charge from an overclocked Omni blade. Not giving up a 6% boost, right?
Oh, I have to flirt with Liam. No, save me, save me.
Someone brought this to Andromeda?
It was new when we left. It's been a hard year. So, finally time for that beer? And after 2 years and a dozen suspensions, I took a lateral promotion out of the force. Being a cop just didn't fit. The crisis response? Digging people out of trouble? That worked. I bet Hustle followed you into a few peace actions. Think about your Alliance days much?
Tell me about your group.
Heavy urban search terrain 1? Yeah. Earth's contribution to a multi-species disaster response unit. HUST-1, but Hustle looks much better on the patch. All civilians, retired vets, or shits like me. I was fiercely bearded.
Oh god, I hate this guy so much.
Thinking about those days.
I wanted exploration, to chase the cutting edge of Prothean research. I thought I'd found my calling. Seems like a long time ago.
600 years, give or take. So, Pathfinder. Why Andromeda?
That blunt, huh?
That blunt.
Alright, hang on. If we're gonna flirt... I mean, Zerg music is actually pretty appropriate for flirting with Liam. But, like, no, I need, like, horror music. Hang on. Give me a sec. Here we go.
I'm looking for moments like this with people like you.
You don't know me yet. Still an answer, though. Something far from home. I get it.
First guy who didn't shoot us down. First person who didn't shoot us down.
I want to say I'm running from my past, but really running from myself. That'd be a great story.
Oh my god, that's it. We're a serial killer, and we're stalking him.
I had family, friends, a good enough job. Nothing was wrong. I just heard about the initiative, and I believed in it. I believed in a new beginning. Still do. I have to. We're in it.
Just making sure if there's anything. Okay.
We can't go back, but we're not trapped by decisions a galaxy behind us.
I don't feel trapped.
Get it?
We came from a good place for good reasons. We keep that in mind, it'll steer us right, just like back in Crisis Response. Remember the essentials. A new start guided by the Pathfinder. And team. I'll bust my tail to make that a good story.
Yep. Liam, our one true love. Let's see. He breathes. That's a positive trait. He's still breathing. He does have a pulse at the moment. As of right now, there is a pulse there, I think. We should check. So, yeah, here's our multiplayer missions. Yep, okay, cool. Quest complete.
Ryder, you meet Spender yet? Colonial Affairs, the ass in Assistant Director. Got no idea why Addison keeps him around. Spender lied to the Krogan during the uprising, and he's headed out for cash ever since. He's up to something. I just can't prove it. We should pay him a visit on the Nexus.
Okay, hang on. Different song for Drek. I know the exact song for Drek. Give me 1 second. Or should I remember the name of the song? Give me a second. Here it is. Okay.
I'd like to know more about you.
Fire away.
Tell me more about the Krogan colony.
My clan's there. We also got some scouts looking for any unclaimed territory to grab up. Got a decent setup going. Self-sustainable. It works. Even some farming.
Farming? Krogan farm?
Food's food. Just because we can eat anything doesn't mean we gotta settle for scraps. I'm pretty fond of Corcrow roots myself. Takes a while to chew through those.
So, yes, you heard right. When they were at the point where nobody had livable or sustainable life, the Exiles found a planet, claimed it, and started a farm on it. Granted, it's a Krogan farm, but still. What?
How did you and Vetra meet?
Oh, that's right. Your father brought you into the project pretty late, didn't he? Must have been a pretty steep learning curve since they thawed you out.
You could say that.
You make do with what you get. Anyway, I met Vetra back when we were building the Nexus. She swiped supplies I was trying to get for cash right under my nose. I tried to intimidate her into turning them over to me, and let me tell you, that Turian takes shit from no one.
She really has a way of getting things done.
She sure does. But here's the best part. She waited until I saw her again in Kesh's office, no less, to tell me she'd been working for Kesh all along. They're both still laughing at me over that.
Wow. Also, yeah, sorry. I guess the Krogans are different from the Exiles. It all blurs a lot. I'm gonna be really honest with you. That doesn't change the fact that in the giant plot point where it's like, oh my god, it's totally unviable and we can't settle anywhere, someone's already settled.
So, about all this combat experience you have, I'd love some details.
Ha! The list will be shorter if you ask me what experience I don't have. I've been doing this for a long time now, centuries, shit, well over 1,000 years. Don't even know how I'm still alive, to be honest.
Skill?
Skill, sure, but a whole lot of luck. And a really hard head.
Twitch, hello? Okay, there it comes. It's back. We're back.
Why did the Krogan leave the Nexus?
The Nexus got us Krogan to stop the mutiny. In return, we were supposed to get a say in station business. Spender, Addison's assistant, lied about the deal, and Tann came down hard. Too hard. So we left. Kesh is alone on that station now.
You think someone might try to hurt Kesh?
More like she airlocks Spender. Or he tries to stab her in the back, and then she airlocks him. Tann wouldn't listen to me when I told him Spender had a part in the mutiny. I had no proof.
So what's my part in this?
Things need to get sorted out, and my clan needs to get back on station without Spender messing things up. Way I see it, you're probably the best one for that job.
Okay.
Did Lexi brief you on Sam and squad connectivity yet?
Yeah. You want to hook that thing up to my comms, sure, but that's where it stops. Putting an AI in your head, giving it access to everything like that, it's begging for trouble.
I'm not thrilled about it myself, but it is what it is.
Just make sure it can't unshackle itself. There'll be hell to pay if that happens.
What's it like to have Kesh as a granddaughter?
Kesh is my Rushan, child of my blood. Raised her myself. Damn proud of her, too. She did good, even with me for a granddad.
She's honest. Definitely blunt.
She had to take after me in some ways, I guess.
Got any stories or advice to share?
Does a pyjak scratch its butt?
Anything about the Ket? Or combat in general?
Well, common Ket are pretty straightforward. Hit them hard enough, they die like anything else.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Wraiths are sneaky little shits, like to ghost up behind you when you least expect it. Just listen for them. They tend to give themselves away right before coming at you. Break through their head plates, then a headshot should do the trick.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Destined are annoying, quick. Got some crazy mist that hides them from view. Take a Destined down, and that mist goes away. Makes them a prime target, if you ask me. Perfect for grenade practice.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
There's just something wrong about the Ket. The absolute single-mindedness.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
So, Chosen, it's not good to let too many of them get close to you at once. If they hit your shields, take a step back. Let me handle them. Bet you anything they're not used to being rushed by a Krogan.
You like how it's literally the exact same dialogue line every single time we say, tell me more about the Ket.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Fire and explosives are good against anything with heavy armor. Or anything, really. Generally, no one likes being set on fire.
Generally, there's a story behind this.
Ha, there sure is.
You mentioned that people generally don't like being set on fire.
3 seconds ago.
I was hoping you'd ask. So, about 400 years ago, give or take a decade, me and my outfit were pinned down during a skirmish with another merc group. So I pull off my usual stunt, charge ahead and breach their barricade. Pop my flamethrower and get ready to let go. Only to see them all screaming and running away. Turns out, I crashed through a shipment of Turian brandy on my way in. Never even noticed I was on fire. But they sure did. Never seen a pack of mercs panic that badly before.
Okay, real talk. A charging Krogan who is on fire. Yeah. Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Ascendant. Keep your distance. Don't let him get you in those force fields. Pop that little orb, then shoot him in the head, just like anything else.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Fiends, kid. Even I'm not gonna mess with those at close range. Keep your distance. Shoot them in the red fleshy bits, or I guess in the face if you can't flank them.
Hang on, I've got a question.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Shoot stuff and don't die. Always works for me.
Hang on.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Shoot stuff and don't die. Always works for me.
But hang on.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Shoot stuff and don't die. Always works for me.
Okay, cool. I have indeed heard of the High Elves.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Hey, one last thing.
Yeah?
Is everyone a kid to you?
Ha, when you get to be my age, yeah, pretty much.
Interesting, Mr. Ed. Can you tell me more about fighting Ket, though?
Where's my data pad? Oh, how'd you get under there?
Suvi, were you talking to your notebook?
Oh, I wasn't I? I do that sometimes.
No, I'm good. Thanks for the reference. There's the interview we've actually already done. We did that one, I think. Yep, okay. There's some shipboard hacks the designers designed into the code of the Tempest. Give all dispen lets you use the coffee dispenser an unlimited number of times. Water temp override overrides normal hot water rations in the showers. And jump wash queue puts your clothing ahead of everyone else's in the auto laundry cycle. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of emails. Hang on. Yoga exercises, huh? Okay. From Drac to writer, Vitra told me what happened to your dad. I've lost a lot of people over the years. Figured you'd use some cheering up, or at least a distraction. This usually helps me. Drac has attached 37 images of various rifles and shotguns. 2 are duplicates. Many of them are low-res or watermarked. What? Okay. Right.
Scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself.
Remember,
It's splendid.
we actually have no idea what the Scourge is, only that it was a side effect of someone bombing a precursor facility. So, big mystery about the Scourge? Not answered. Now here's the thing. Blade Duval actually asked a hypothetical about this type of question not too long ago. What if a game sets up a domino and never pays it off? Because we don't know, right? Like, they could someday come up with a Mass Effect Andromeda 2, or they could reference this in Mass Effect 5 or whatever. So does the game itself get negatives for this? And the answer we came up with was, of course, case by case. But in this case, I think this is kind of a weird one, because it's pretty clear they had some idea where they were going with all these narrative bits, and they have absolutely none of that anywhere. But, like, do we ding it for that? I think in this specific case, what I will probably do is depend on how much they lean on the mystery. If they're constantly building up the mystery and then don't pay it off, then that's irritating, right? Like, that's just frustrating that you're constantly trying to be like, oh, ho, ho, what's in the box? What's in the box? Hey, it's rattling. Look, that's irritating. But that's irritating regardless of the answer, right? Like, even if they did have a satisfying payoff, that would be frustrating. So I think that's the direction we're going to go with for this one.
It's dangerous, and that's all I see. A mass of destructive, malevolent tentacles.
I can appreciate the colors of a coral snake while recognizing that I wouldn't want to get close. Helios is incredible, isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant Vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
But hold up. What have we seen out here that looks alien? Like, we've seen more wild stuff than this already. Prothean tech, Reaper tech, if you want to get into that. Far more aliens than people walking around on 2 feet. So, what?
There's something about coming face to face with something wondrous that makes you want to believe.
Wow. It's wonderful to meet someone who understands. I've had to justify myself so often. As if having faith in the divine invalidated my work as a scientist. As if this sacred could be diminished by the search for truth.
Is that a flirt? That's a flirt! You know what we've got to do!
You definitely have an interesting perspective on the interplay between faith and science. I'd really like to pick your brain on that sometime. Maybe over drinks? The Nexus?
I'd like that.
Oh!
Now I should probably update the rest of the team with my latest reports. We'll talk later.
We're getting in. I'm in. True, Blade Duval. 3 months is just crazy short for a game like this, too. Yes, we've successfully asked someone out. After being shot down twice in a row, we successfully managed to ask someone out. Hang on. We did it. We asked someone out. Sorry. Now ask him out.
Glad you stopped by. You'll pardon me if I keep an eye on our vector?
That's probably smart.
Nothing like being on the bridge of your very own ship, is there?
You mentioned something about helping design the Tempest?
Test pilot, mostly. Plunging through the Nemean Abyss was almost a preparation for the Scourge. Of course, it took a whole team to build the Tempest. I was the only one to come to Helios, though.
Why did you?
What can I say? We poured our hearts into a ship that wouldn't realize her potential until Andromeda. I could have stood on the shore and waved goodbye, or took the leap to see how it all turned out.
I get it. Like leaving a good story half finished.
The team liked that one of us was going. It felt right after all we went through. I remember Serena debugging line 2281 over and over, chewing that green pencil. Tion and O'Connell arguing equations, tapping on the console, 3 drips of coffee on the corner.
You remember all that?
Oh, yes. Solarians have photographic memories, and apparently mine's unusually sharp. Like my past is still happening. Though I suppose with the Solarian arc missing, you might not get many chances to compare.
Oh, please tell me all about the Solarian arc. In intricate detail. Sorry. 1 second. Sorry, I'm trying to find a specific song. Forgive me. I think this is it. No, that might not be it. Hang on. There it is. I found it. Found it. Okay, okay. Ahem.
Did you hear anything about the Ark back on the Nexus?
Not a peep. Isn't that strange? You'd think there'd be something. Not that I dislike your company, but it's lonely without other Solarians.
Cheer up, Callow. We'll always have Director Tann.
That snide little bureaucrat? All the more reason to find the others. I should get back to it, but thank you. I was afraid the Tempest would be mothballed after we lost your father. We built her for this. She deserves to be in a Pathfinder's hands. Please, come by any time.
Listen, Savacom. I don't know. But I love that lens flare. Look at it. Boop. 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 I actually hate it. So let's assume for a moment that I just successfully asked out Suvi, okay? We did it! Alright, now let's go to land, because we missed something. Game. Oh my god, okay. Let's try Overworld. There might be some good music here. What do we got? What do we got? Okay,
Watch your toe.
There's protesters now? What? What? Where? What? You can tell this is Lufia 1 because it actually has the default SNES sound chip. Or sound font, excuse me. Not a lot of people know you have to actually program music on the SNES. If you don't, it has a default. But that default, honestly, isn't very great. It's one of the things I don't like most about several soundtracks, Lufia 1 included. Most of the really good soundtracks like Lufia 2, or Final Fantasy 6, or Mega Man X1, or Super Metroid, they'll have custom scripts, custom programmed sound fonts. In some cases, literally physical chips to help add the extra sound fidelity necessary for it to actually play it properly. Now, I can't even talk right now. I'm going to have to pause early. What is wrong with me today? Wait, what am I scanning?
Perhaps both. Life is infinitely adaptable, as our expedition proves.
Okay, whatever.
Hello, Pathfinder.
A moment?
Yeah, what up?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
I have a math problem. Some vital equations that only a mind like Sam's could solve. They concern strange transmission patterns in the Scourge. Perhaps random noise, perhaps not.
That could be a ship, or even turbulence in the Scourge we should know about.
Given the complexity and the security implications, I recommend transferring the equations directly into SAM node. I have them on an optical storage disk for you.
I'll see if I have time.
Thank you, Pathfinder. Please thank Sam as well.
I think this is Dissidia. And I am correct. Oh my god. Like, I'm going through something. I don't know if I'm sick or I'm hitting allergies or something. But also, like, this game is putting me to sleep. That's not even a joke. That's not an insult. That is a statement of fact. What in God's name? Yeah, my face is pretty tired. It's weird. No, this one's Dissidia. I only have one Lufia overworld, although I have a Lufia 2 overworld. So just for you.
Ryder, the blocks your father placed on my array are opening. I can now recall specific memories, which Alec wanted you to see.
Wait, I can actually see his memories?
Yes, you will experience them via your implant.
That's horrifying.
Something new every day.
Like, for real. Is no one else looking at that like, whoa there? No? Okay, cool.
Dr. Aradana at the tech lab sent some equations for you to solve.
I'm ready.
Transferring them now. Have fun. Hey, what the? Sam?
Malicious code detected. Please stand by.
Sam?
Attempting to countermand malicious code. Please stand by.
Is there anything I can do? Sam?
Yeah, stop talking and distracting the super AI.
Function or... Sam? You trying to show me something? Okay, I think I got it. Sam, talk to me.
Hello, Pathfinder. Please initialize the console to restore normal operations.
Sam, what happened?
The equations contained a Trojan horse program, a virus, specifically targeted to sever our connection and render me helpless. Reconnecting would be impossible.
Cool.
You'd need a crack AI programmer to create a virus like that.
Yes. Only my unique adaptions prevented permanent damage.
Unlock the door. Let's head to the tech lab and see what Dr. Aradana has to say.
Okay. A little out of nowhere. Thank you, Logratagame, as always. Always appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. Give me a mug. Yeah, Ryder's brain gets fried, but who will be able to tell the difference? Let me look up what you put that towards here. Guild Wars 1. Now remember, you can pick 3 things without consequence. So Guild Wars 1. What other 2 things would you like?
Pathfinder, Captain Dunn.
Only that. Okay. Would anyone else like to select... Hang on. How do I be fair about this? So, for those of you who don't know how this works, if you don't put it towards 3 things, the other things you don't select just kind of go into the bank, usually, for dealer's choice. What I've started doing lately is giving those to other people, so other people can decide instead of me. So let's see. I can't let Mr. Red pick because he hasn't done a highlight recently, and that's unconscionable. Dragon Age 4 does seem appropriate. What do you think? Do you think Dragon Age 4 would be appropriate later out of game? I'll ask you for permission on that one.
Wouldn't it be more practical to build these vaults on the surface?
Nah, Rack and I engineered and mastered underground construction a millennium ago. These remnant fellows probably understand.
That's a good point. You are working on the Starfield reel. But if you're putting that towards Shadowheart's Covenant, then that's just objectively wrong, isn't it?
Welcome, Pathfinder. Did Sam solve the equations I sent?
Solve them? They almost brought down Sam Node.
The equations contained a virus designed to target artificial intelligence.
You think Never. I abhor violence against any life, organic or synthetic.
Okay.
Then how did the virus find its way into your equations?
Perhaps my files were altered or replaced. But why?
I've seen a lot of down with AI sentiment lately. Graffiti, complaints to Tann. Perhaps someone took the next step.
Why would anyone hate artificial intelligence?
Synthetic life has different needs and motivations. It can be mysterious and powerful. Many fear what is not understood.
You know, I don't even feel like dissecting how stupid that is. But also, yeah, AI suck. Why would anyone hate AI is certainly a really funny statement nowadays. By the way, for those of you who don't know, allow me to be very firmly against the theft-based scraping bots that have been getting prolific lately. But yeah, let's ignore real life for a second. You ever heard of the Geth? For those of you who don't know where, the Geth led to an entire thing of legal standard across a galaxy.
If graffiti is the best they can do, maybe they could use some artificial intelligence.
Entire species were driven into exile by AI they created, champ. That leaves a mark.
Attacking Sam is bold, though. I wonder if there have been similar incidents.
The AI kiosk was busted this morning.
I can look around.
No, the Reaper, like, this whole thing, the Andromeda initiative started really early. We learned a little bit about that in Tidbits and Pieces. The long and the short of it is that Tim was playing the long game and wanted something in place just in case everything goes bad with the Reapers. This is the arc, for lack of a better way to put that. Oh god, I don't know, Mr. Flint. I'm too asleep right now.
Is a threat to all organic life. Why not ask for more details? Detecting Pathfinder Rider.
Hi there. Excuse the educational stuff. I hacked Vina as a sock puppet. So, our virus set you free. Hope you're doing better without that AI jammed into your head.
Who am I talking to right now?
A friend. Our movement sent the virus to save you.
Pathfinder, it's possible they don't realize their virus failed. Pretending that it worked might win their trust.
Hello? Ryder?
The disconnect was very sudden. I'm grateful, just woozy.
It'll pass. See, this is what our movement's all about stopping. Knight says human AI merging is a threat to all life. She'd know, trust me. Oh, Knight's our founder. The virus wouldn't exist without her.
I should thank Knight in person.
I'll ask her. She might even give you a tour of our sanctuary.
Great, thanks.
Can't promise anything, but watch your email. Bye.
A whole movement of AI-hating hackers with a leader called Knight.
She and her followers seem to have experience with human-AI partnership.
If they attacked you, they're capable of anything. I'll check my email. We need to find them.
And now, I do like how a quest will flat out tell you, hey, time needs to pass for the quest to progress. It's in big, red, all caps, on hold, right?
Did you know Geth murdered billions of Quarians in the Morning War?
On hold. Yeah, no kidding. Actually, are there any speedruns in this game? Let's check. There are. There's an any % narrative difficulty, which is 2 hours and 18 minutes. God dang. How the hell? There's an any % new game plus, which pulls it down to 2 hours and 6 minutes. There's also a 100% run. Notice that I said singular run, which takes 22 hours, 39 minutes, and 34 seconds. Oof. Ah. Oh, that hurts just thinking about that. Oh, okay. It's just, oof.
Free our families! Make them hear, make them know, make them lead, or make them go!
Hey, what's going on?
Before. That's your new galaxy. Making speeches about some fresh start while your kids stay frozen.
And it's all thanks to your Pathfinder.
Excuse me?
We've waited months for our families to come out of stasis. They should have gone to your outpost.
But since you think research is so important, military personnel got bumped down the list, like my clan brothers.
All the reassignments mean they're in 10 different colony blocks now.
And my mother just got caught in the middle.
Hey.
We only had resources for one outpost, so I focused on the skills we needed most.
And what we need is our families back.
Maybe you could still make this right. I just want Mom out of stasis. That's all anyone here wants.
You do stasis revivals. You can tell our leaders you're opening those pods. Today.
But, like... What?
I authorize whole colony blocks or a few emergency revivals. I can't wake dozens of random people.
We don't care whose finger pushes the button. If you can't, our leaders can. And if you tell them, they will.
But... What? Are you stupid? Do you know what limited resources means? Do you understand what a freaking starvation... I can't even word. Oh my god. Okay. You know what a famine means? Let's try that. Is that a simple enough word for you? Jesus. And yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure this is the same group we get the other way around. Like, I don't...
This is a big issue. Bigger than just my say-so.
Bullshit. You're the hero right now. They'll do anything you say.
We tried petitioning Addison. She ignored us. Screw her. Start with Kandros. He sent those 10 soldiers over there. Maybe he'll take us seriously.
And yeah, there's no option to say no. Also, yeah, they explicitly said only one Krogan is left on the Nexus, even though he's right there. Okay, fine, I'll go get you all dead from starvation because of your own stupidity. Yeah, can we just put these people back into sleep? They'll be wasting less resources. And that way they won't have to go without their families.
The human Pathfinder has died. Alec Ryder was killed after touching down on
God, why?
Ryder's daughter has reportedly replaced him as Pathfinder, taking command of the Tempest and the ongoing search for a home in Andromeda. This is HNS.
Hey, Kandros, there's some idiots who want to talk to you.
No news on the Turian Arc yet? Or is this militia business?
Hey, there's some idiots.
I need to talk to you about stasis revival and those protesters in hydroponics.
I see. Maybe I should get the others for this.
No, real...
Protesters have seized hydroponics?
They want their families out of stasis. The outpost on Eos disrupted the schedule. They're scattered across colony blocks. Dozens of people. The protesters want this fixed today.
The realities of our position are...
We can't wake those families. We don't have the resources, and there's nowhere to put them.
Thank you.
We only just got on our feet. Plus it messes up the schedule again. What do you suggest?
Leave the families in stasis where it's safe and get those protesters out of hydroponics. They seem sympathetic, but so did the exiles. We can't risk another revolt. Survival is more important than family reunions.
Do you think these protests could turn violent?
We're all pioneers. Even civilians are tough enough to start something.
And interfering in hydroponics threatens our oxygen supply. They know that.
Oh my god.
What would you do with the protesters?
I'd send in a squad and march them out. At gunpoint if we must. If they resist, a few might land in medbay, but it's better than losing hydroponics. Or the Nexus.
Done.
We have to look at the bigger picture.
Just get this on my screen.
Kandros?
I'll send in a team, but it might go smoother if Ryder's there.
A good idea. Sometimes we have to give bad news. That's a Pathfinder's duty, too.
Okay. I figured out why this irritates me so much. I can actually put this into words. It's hard to do because I'm really tired. I think I'm going to lay down after this quest. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. But okay, so hear me out, right? This is an interesting topic and an interesting dilemma being looked at through the lens of a kindergartner. Like, there's some legitimacy that could be said here on multiple sides, and there's some layers, and there's some nuance, and all of it's been thrown completely out the window. Because it's just, it's being broken down into these two things. Okay, so, we must disrupt the schedule and let the protesters out, and no one even mentions the fact that if we do that, all we're just going to have is more protesters, which will cause more people demanding more people get let out, which will make the already existing resource problem even worse. Then, on the other side of the things, obviously, we do have limited resources and survival does have to take place, but morale is a real thing, and if people feel like their leaders aren't listening to them, those leaders will stop being their leaders very quickly. Like, there's some actual depth to this idea, but the presentation is just, all right, pick one, and that's it. Like, this should be a debate. This should be a concept. Instead, I bet we're about to end this quest right here, just like we did the other one that just kind of stopped dead. What do you want to bet? Yeah, like there's in-betweeny path. Like, I'm not saying, like, take a full third option, but, like, there's ways to thread the needle rather than just going full Gestapo or complete capitulation. And yeah, I agree with you, Lord Helmut. The game feels like it's saying that what we're about to do is the evil option, even though we have very valid and legitimate concerns on this side. I bet you money, though, it's going to be like, I thought you were a good Pathfinder. I thought you were here for us, not those in charge. Something. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? And yes, I did, Zach Taft. All right, so can anybody name what this song is from? Real question. I know, and the first thing I said was that I just cursed us, Mr. Red. That I retroactively recreated the reality in order to ensure that I would be wrong because I said that.
Though not much is known about the underground structure, it's believed to be remnant in origin.
Just stand down, ma'am.
Or you'll shoot me. Good luck explaining that to my grandchildren.
What happened?
She was about to disconnect the water hoses, threaten all the plants.
They're saying the leaders won't wake our families. Well, this is how far we're willing to go. Their move.
Are you this stupid?
I know this is hard, but for the good of the Nexus, we need you to be patient.
We've already waited. How old will I be by the time Mom's out of stasis?
Take it easy, kid. The Pathfinder's got a point.
I'll go off station if I have to. I'll find anyone who'll actually do something.
You want your mom to wake up and find you exiled? Or dead?
Reese, don't. Anything's better than that. Even the longest wait of our lives.
When our families hear about this,
They'll probably agree with the Pathfinder. You're done here. Come on.
Quest complete! You... That's 2 side quests in a row, by the way. Not tasks, side quests that have ended in an extraordinarily abrupt and underwhelming way. You remember the station sabotage quest? This is the other one. Just... You know what the problem is? I'm listening to peaceful music. I need something a little bit more high tempo. Alright. Yeah, it's an outline. It's an outline of a quest. You're exactly right. Alright, Mr. Red, I changed my mind. What do you want to put the donation towards? All right. Okay. Your call. Yes, being willing to suicidally self-sabotage because they're so desperate to see their families slightly earlier. And I want to stress that. Like, it's all... Granted, a year is a long time. But when you're talking about things like colonies and settling another galaxy, a year is a microscopic bit of time. You know another way you could have added another layer of depth to this? Make them Solarians, where a year is actually a much bigger ask from them. Mr. Red is my only editor. I try to give him as many donations as I can. Yeah, one of them's a freaking Asari, and one of them's a Krogan, who live into the thousands, by the way. And again, we're going around settling more people and getting more resources going, and it's like, their whole shtick, it's, okay, there's a plot beat. This is a very minor spoiler. There's a plot beat over in Pokemon X and Y, or no, Sword and Shield. There's a plot beat in Sword and Shield where one of the characters, one of the main villains says, listen, I know that this is not an urgent issue, and we will absolutely deal with it soon. However, I refuse to wait a few extra hours to deal with it. So I'm going to screw everything over right now because I refuse to wait. And that's these yahoos. I should go do this one.
Watch your tone. Your incompetence isn't my problem. Just do your job.
What do you want?
Either way, no is the answer to your question, Berlichton. I do not always gift Mr. Red donations. I think I've only done it like 5 times total. It's a very new policy.
Whatever's going on, it's not fair to take it out on me.
Apologies, you're right.
not your fault.
Yeah, that's another thing. You want your family to come out when food and oxygen are still problems. That's what you want. You want your beloveds to suffer and die with you? That's the goal? You want to share in the fact that you might not be alive in a few months? Actually, it'd be less time than that because every new... Oh my god, I can't. Yeah, imagine, Mom, at long last, you're here. Everything's better now. What's wrong with you, boy? Whap! I would actually give the game a positive if you chose to let them out and the mother did exactly that. Just straight up slapped him.
I haven't heard much good about that guy.
Whatever you've heard, it's not half as bad as the reality. Just last week, he tried to redirect some of the supplies we need to keep the stasis pods going.
Why?
I have no idea. But if Kesh hadn't stepped in and threatened to airlock him, it would have been a disaster. He's always like that. Making bad decisions, driving the Krogan away, treating people like scum.
Okay, pause. I love this music, but I can't hear you. How can I help?
Maybe there's something I can do.
A man like that's bound to have some dirt. I wish Tann and Addison could see it. Things have gotten so bad that Kesh had to literally kick him out of engineering.
How literal we talking here?
Boot to ass. Oh, it was glorious. We need him gone, but as incompetent as Spender is at his job, he's insanely good at keeping it.
I can go kill him.
Kesh can tell you more.
No, seriously, can I just go kill this guy? Hang on. Sam, reinitialize music. So, I've been thinking about that Trihexia. Me and a friend of mine spent some time last night thinking about how to fix the Nexus and how stupid it is. We came up with 3 separate options for how they could fix this crap. But all of them boil down to the same idea. Get rid of the Nexus. The problem is, the Nexus was never a good idea and shouldn't even exist. If you want your big town, you want your big hub town, there's lots of other options they could have gone with, including the species we haven't even met yet if you really want some big established town. But I disagree with even having a big established town, because we're not established. This is a new galaxy. We don't have a home. That's the point. Imagine if in an episode of Voyager, they go out there, all right, we're in the Delta Quadrant. Quick, put into space dock. And they just go and they suddenly dock with the space dock that happens to be there in the Delta Quadrant. And in order to gather resupplies. And the Delta Quadrant's like, man, we want our families back. It's so stupid. Sam, pause music.
Dell told me you saw her arguing with Spender. Hijack's doing his best to throttle my department.
How's he getting away with that?
Spender doesn't know the first thing about engineering, but he knows how to play people. More importantly, he still talks to the exiles. I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it without your help.
Does anyone else know about this?
My grandfather tried to tell Tann. He wouldn't believe him without proof.
If he's really this bad, how does he keep his job?
Welcome to the Nexus. Look, I can work with everyday incompetence. But Spender's a traitor and a danger to the station. He needs to be dealt with.
This needs to be investigated.
I'm glad someone thinks so. Talk to Kandros. He likely has security footage, some kind of evidence. But you'll have to convince him to authorize release.
Oh.
When we left the Milky Way, the Krogan were still dealing with a genophage.
Right. The genophage. A little gift to our people from the Solarians thousands of years ago. That sterility virus they infected us with left most of our children stillborn.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
Only 1 in 1,000 survive.
Yes, I know. Thank you. I'm sorry. Real quick. Still dealing with? Like, I hate to call attention to that line, but that is a line said to the player, not the character. Because we know that the genophage could have been cured by now, thanks to the events of Warcraft 3. But Ryder wouldn't have even heard of that.
What about the Krogan here in Andromeda?
There's no cure for it. But my clan was starting to show mutation against the virus. A natural defense. During the trip to get here, Krogan underwent gene therapies to enhance the mutation while we were in stasis.
So you used those 600 years to your advantage. Gave the adaptation more time to develop.
Yeah. It's still early, but I think we made a dent. Our scientists say we've improved viability to almost 4%, which is a lot better than what we had. Beyond all the statistics, it means more Krogan children will live. It's the only way my people have a future out here.
Did I say Warcraft 3? Did I actually say that? Wow. Sorry. Mass Effect 3. Okay. Hold on. Hi, Tomb Raider. 1 second, please. I need to look something up here really quick. Give me 1 moment, please. Okay, so give or take about 1,400 years ago was the Krogan rebellions and when the genophage was introduced. Okay. Now, you're probably thinking, and is another speech about long time? No. It's important to establish how long it's been since the genophage was introduced. Now, pause. Thank you, Doom Rider. Always appreciate. So they were undergoing gene therapy to make themselves more resistant to the genophage. And the big thing they said that helped that genophage to act, the resistance to actually work, is time. Like, say, 1,400 years, give or take. Which, I know I hit this button a lot, is a long freaking time. Pokemon Violet, FF7R1, FF7R2. Thank you, Doom Rider. Always appreciate. So, I don't even care. I don't even care.
Nothing more for now.
Try not to die out there.
Yeah, they were also in stasis on the way here, which kind of throws that even more into question. But no. We're starting to fight off the genophage because they wanted Krogan in Andromeda. That's why. That's why. I can tell you exactly what happened. They wanted all of the Mass Effect race, or rather the big Mass Effect races in Andromeda. Okay, so Krogan, Solarian, Asari, and Quarian. Okay, I'm with that. But they can't acknowledge Mass Effect 3 because Mass Effect 3's ending was A, terrible, but B, and more importantly, variable. So they can't acknowledge Mass Effect 3's ending. So they can't actually... No, they're not, Lord Hermon. So they can't actually have this happen after Mass Effect 3. In other words, the ship couldn't have left after Mass Effect 3. So, in other words, they were kind of against a rock and a hard place. So they're like, yeah, exactly. They don't know if you cured the genophage, but they wanted Krogan. So... And yeah, apparently they didn't want Hanar or Elcor or... Oh, God, the financial people I can't think of the name of right now. Or any of the other lesser races. Volus, thank you. Drell.
Thanks for understanding about the outpost and the protesters.
You don't strike me as the political type.
I'm not. Just pro keeping everyone alive. Maybe those protesters will eventually understand too. It's done. I don't want to think about it. Need something else?
I was told I should talk to you about the mutiny.
I wasn't on the Nexus when it happened. I started reading up on it, but you know how things get around here.
Do you know where Spender was during that time?
Why Spender? Wait, you think he might have had something to do with the mutiny?
Maybe. Just trying to sort things out.
You know, the logs I did look through showed a few discrepancies. I meant to dig deeper. If you're investigating, how about I give you access to the security vid archives?
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
Yeah, no Batarians, no Vorcha, no Geth. So the reason I brought up the Quarians specifically is there was plans to have Quarians here, and that was kiboshed almost immediately. But it was something that they were intending to do, which means yeah, it's the main races. I would say it's the playable races, but that's a lie because we have a playable Drell.
Maintenance crews, please report.
Huh. This file won't play. Sam, can you boost the quality?
Processing. Playback initiated.
Wait. Is he handing something over to one of the mutineers?
Take this. It'll help you hungry. Don't.
I am sorry, Pathfinder. This backup file is corrupted. The audio tracks are heavily degraded. Someone may have deleted the original, and this version was restored during a system-wide reset.
Sounds like a cover-up to me.
I concur. While I cannot restore any more audio, the location appears to be Kadara.
How do you figure?
In common parlance, lip reading. I do not recognize the location from any current data. It appears mountainous and populated. We will need to find the planet before I can confirm. I will contact you via my node.
Let's go confront Spender.
But, okay, whatever. As an aside, just super quick here. I love how this is not actually a complaint. I know it sounds like one, but it's not actually a complaint. They didn't want to put together a crappy cinematic for a cutscene that they probably couldn't animate properly. So they just had us listen to it instead. Probably one of the smarter decisions they've made about that so far.
Attention, civil disobedience has been reported in hydroponics.
The mutiny went as well as you'd expect. So much violence. Then, after nearly destroying the station, the Krogan asked for more power? Good riddance.
I can already tell he's a nice guy who refuses to talk to me. Hello? Hello? Okay. Yeah, I had to get far enough away to talk to him. Oh no, look. I can't... Oh my god, I have to be in front of him to talk to him. Okay, hold on. Can I talk to you from behind you? I can talk to her from behind her. Why can I not talk to this guy from behind him? What?
Ryder, is it? William Spender. Apologies if we met before. I meet a lot of people running Colonial affairs.
Running Colonial affairs? I thought you were the assistant director.
That's right. Assistant to Addison. So we know who does all the real work.
There's evidence tying you to some pretty shady things, Spender. I saw the footage. You were handing something off.
What footage? From Gavorkum? Routine business meeting. Whoever you're talking to clearly has an axe to grind. And frankly, a Pathfinder shouldn't be wasting time on a witch hunt. You'd be wise to let this be.
Okay.
Hydroponics reports oxygen production is nominal.
Sure. Yeah, you're right, Henson. Ugh. Come on. There we go. Oh god, I don't even know at this point off the deeper end. I don't even know. I'm gonna shut my gob about how good or bad this game is gonna do. I'm just gonna review it as we go. No more predictions. Every time I predict something, I'm wrong. That's not true. I'm actually right most of the time. But it sure feels like I've been wrong a lot lately.
The victim's name has been withheld until next of kin in the Milky Way
Until next of kin in the Milky Way is notified. How fast is your communication travel? Out of curiosity. I think this game will also beat Starfield in length. That is to say, Starfield is longer and never stopped being bad. Like, one of the things that made Starfield so bad is the fact that it was extraordinarily long and it never stopped screwing up. There was never a point at which the negatives stopped coming, right? There was no point at which it led up, and it's like, okay, now we're just here, or maybe we have some positives to... No. Starfield just kept having more and more and more negatives. Like, at a glance, Starfield had 1.18 negatives per hour to story, and 1.31 negatives per hour to gameplay. Now, if that doesn't sound like a lot, I need to remind you that that's over a game that was like 80 hours. That is an insane... That's a high density in general. That is a heavily an above average density. Never mind for a game that long. Flashing lights warning. Flashing lights warning. I'm usually not bothered by that kind of thing, but that bothers me.
And Prodromos. Descent is green.
Coordinating. Path is calm.
I've been trying to skip this entire time, by the way, so I want you to understand just how many load screens and how much time is spent going from one destination to another. Still can't skip. I'm still actively trying to skip here. Oh my god. Because now we have access to fast travel. Yeah, minutes and hours. Jesus. Oh yeah, Sam, music.
Radiation levels increasing.
I heard someone request EOS deployment.
This is where Chief Reynolds died.
Sandstorms would have buried the body long ago. I suggest scanning.
Oh, you remembered that this place used to be covered by sandstorms. Holy crap.
Karkins.
Pathfinder, there is an armor piece buried deep. A leg bracer. Scan indicates tissue and bone fragments clinging to it. DNA identified as Chief Reynolds. Indications suggest his body was torn to pieces.
So the Chief became Karkin food.
Circle of life can be gruesome.
The remaining armor will be scattered, or perhaps brought to a nest. The chest piece and his Omni tool may explain his death.
Then we keep searching and scanning.
Another armor piece. Chief Reynolds' helmet.
The search continues.
What do you mean, Loner? Oh, you mean the vehicle? It's fine. Overall, it does technically handle better than the Mako. It's just not as fun as the Mako, as weird as that probably sounds. Like, it does little things like that right there to just kind of smooth over movement, rather than what a lot of games do, which would be have you run into a bump or something similar. Like, it has a lot of automatically go over stuff code designed into it.
Pathfinder. The scanners picked up Chief Reynolds' chest piece, confirming single shot. Unable to determine weapon type, but entry point was at the back. Exit blast through the chest.
By all accounts, Nilken was in front of the Chief when he fired. So it wasn't his shot that killed him.
The Chief's Omni tool might shed some light.
I don't know, the Hammerhead's fine. I actually enjoy the Hammerhead, unlike some people. But I don't know if I'd put it at the level of... I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Hey, Croatia. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm sure there'll be more negatives in the future.
Can't wait to see what the initiative makes of this planet.
Hopefully Padrona sets a high bar.
Your first outpost. It must mean something to you.
Not really, but thanks for asking. Yeah, the problem with the hammer was the fact that it had the armor of wet tissue paper.
Picking up additional armor scraps. I believe it's a trail leading to a cave nearby.
Could be where the nest is located.
It does control well, though, which is the specific question that was asked. I'd say the Hammerhead technically controls a little bit better than this, but this is a lot less punishing, so... meh. By the way, I could be wrong. There's no, like, limit on how many mining nodes we drop. So hypothetically, we could just mine out an entire planet if we really felt like being that boring, couldn't we?
It's a Karkin nest, all right. Fan out.
Confirming initiative equipment, including Omni tool assigned to Security Chief Hiram Reynolds. If you power it up, I can exhume its data. Accessing data. The Chief was scanning at the time of death. The scan picked up 2 shots. 1. A standard initiative rifle report, which missed. The other from behind, a Ket pulse weapon.
This proves Nilken is innocent. He didn't shoot Reynolds.
That's a relief. Good work.
Pathfinder, there is also an audio record.
Pause music.
Go ahead and play it.
No! Where's Nilken?
Sorry, old friend. Had to do it. I'm not dying on this rock.
That sounds like...
Confirming. Voice identified as suspect, Nilken. So he did not kill the Chief.
But he meant to. Need another chat with the man.
Da-na-na-na. Unpause music.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources.
Oh, thanks. I didn't know that.
Via your mining interface.
I'm trying to look at the potential. In 50 years, this could be a beach vacation.
Eos will have holidays once we figure out the seasons.
Not exactly a Christmas-type planet.
How do you know? Utah has Christmas, I think. Maybe they don't. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. Nothing? Seriously? Alright, whatever. Let's just do this. Or I'm in combat. Of course I am.
Cut it through!
Still in combat. Listen, Verlictum. All I'm saying is that Liam's an idiot and deserves to die. Now, let's see. There's the ramp. Out of combat yet? Hey!
Life support at 100%.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of PB, but everyone else is fine. I like Drac. Vitra, I haven't really gotten a lot of chance to get an opinion on. Cora's weirdly good so far. Like, she doesn't even belong in this game, as I can tell. Hey, Darth Trinius. How's your day going? Yeah, this is an interesting legal gray area. Interestingly enough, we have a legal definition for something like this. It's called conspiracy to commit murder.
Leaving Atwell. All clear.
There's some layers to that, though. It's not black and white. That's the point. Alright, now all we have to do is go back to the station. Let's see how long this takes. Attempted murder. Do they give rewards for attempted chemistry? Huh. Right, sorry. Flashing lights warning. Every time we've warped, there's going to be a flashing lights warning. Just to be really clear about that. It's never going away. Yeah, KOTOR had the trial on Planet. Oh, I could skip that one. Holy crap, that's the first one I could skip. Oh, you mean Dantooine. That's a little different, yeah. Oh god, did it really take a minute and a half of just load screens? It's terrible. We're not even at our destination yet.
It's believed to be remnant in origin. Noted the sorry scientist, Pelisaria Basale.
What we activated in the vault drastically improved the action.
Down to EOS. Did you find anything to help my case?
You're a liar. The Chief's Omni tool recorded you over the body, admitting to killing him.
What? Wait, that's not... What are you trying to pull?
Sam, playback.
Sorry, old friend. Had to do it. I'm not dying on this rock. Well, shit. Guess my fate is sealed.
Except that your shot missed. A Kep blast to the back killed Reynolds.
Are you serious? I'm innocent? What a stroke of luck. The conviction will have to be overturned. The sentence thrown out.
Except, that's not...
I'm going to Tann, and I might have a different opinion. You did try to cover it all up.
Look, I'm sorry I lied, but if my shot missed, I'm innocent. Plain and simple.
Innocent of
We'll see about that.
murder. Not innocent in total. God, is this really going to do the same thing each other side quest has done? Have a really basic binary look at an otherwise seemingly complex situation? Yeah, you're guilty of attempted murder. Also, fabricating evidence, and I forget the other one, but it's when you lie about something like that. So, that's not great.
Something I can help you with?
Yeah, lying under oath is, you know...
Director, I checked out that murder. Nilkin didn't do it, but there's proof that he meant to.
This is unfortunate. We're trying to give the people a sense of stability, leadership they think they can count on. And we're setting precedent for justice here in Andromeda. Now this, a convicted murderer who didn't commit the murder.
These things are almost never black and white.
I know. If we suppress the evidence and uphold the conviction, we're banishing a man for a crime he technically didn't commit. If we throw the conviction out, we're freeing a man who tried to take matters into his own hands, then covered it up. Your investigation complicated this. You should take responsibility for the outcome. Do we still exile him for murder?
It really is. It's two options. No one has even mentioned the fact that he is guilty! He is guilty of multiple crimes. He happens to be innocent of murder. Good. That's a good thing. I'm with that. You know, attempted murder is a lesser crime than successful murder for a good reason. But he doesn't just get to go walk and just walk out of the sun sign and be like, da, 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 I'm free forever. We also literally have tangible evidence of perjury. Oh. And yeah, also military personnel. That is worse. What? This choice doesn't matter. We'll let the coin decide.
It was crazy down there. Life and death. But his shot didn't kill Reynolds. We have to let him go.
You're a bottom line type of person. I hope we don't regret it. All right, so be it. He will do community service for his role in the chaos. But he's a free man. Well, at least we'll have the sordid business behind us.
Colonial Affairs, please advise Director Tann of your status.
Yeah, exile is a death sentence under these circumstances, 100%. Even if you do end up surviving, the intent is to kill. You like how my quest is just sitting there at complete? It's just... Still, it... Hey, there it goes. There it goes. Wow. Okay, that's on hold. We should do our tasks. That's a great idea. We should actually do this one task. That's what I was looking for.
A reminder to all personnel, overtime hours remain in effect.
Oh, hammer down is in effect. Whoa! There! Careful, lady.
Hi. The documentary's going great. Your comments really got people talking. Director Tann loved the first broadcast. Sent a contribution for your expenses.
Thanks.
Let's get to the juicy stuff. Scientists are excited about your new outpost, though there are questions about how prodromos can survive where Sites 1 and 2 failed.
Oh my god. So our options are, we're all doomed, or everything's gonna be fine because I did it.
My team and I surveyed EOS thoroughly and even stopped the storms. The rest is up to the outpost, but the old threats are gone.
Hopefully they can handle any new ones. Facing those risks must be stressful. How do you relax between missions?
Is that a flirt option? Oh my god, it's a flirt option. You know what we have to do. We must flirt.
What about you? I can't imagine you putting your camera down for anything.
I'm not the one history cares about.
I need a minute to think about my answer. And I'd like to know.
Back home, I'd go sailing. I love the water. Nowadays, I play ocean sounds, close my eyes, and remember. Okay, your turn.
Okay, are any of these flirting? No.
My crew and I take downtime together. We're a team.
This is history too, these little moments between. Shots of this remnant tech, some narration. That completes an episode. Thanks for stopping.
Quest complete.
That remnant vault is sealed.
Quest advanced.
Can we get a model?
The human pathfinder has died.
Yep, we must flirt with everyone. The Flirt Master will rise again. And once more, we will have security in Andromeda.
Discovered a mysterious facility that authorities are calling a vault. Though not much yet is known about the underground.
Yeah, if there's one thing this stream has taught me, it's that everyone I know who's played Veilguard, who has also watched this stream, has been relaxed and reaffirmed about how much better Veilguard's dialogue is than this. Oh.
We can start building a bank of vaccines once we get more biomaterial.
It's that scourge I'm wondering about. Standard colony, right?
Ah, Pathfinder. The information you gathered is marvelous. You and your Sam, of course.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Hirik. My colleagues and I work directly with Sam, refining your field scans into discoveries to benefit the initiative. Hopefully.
What fields do you study?
Hirik's into life sciences. I do planetary geology, oceanography, rocks and runoff. Aradana's the space and math whiz.
The sterling data you've sent has us running ragged. Addison finally gave us an actual workspace.
Keep up the good work, champ.
Ask complete. Look forward to is an interesting phrase off the deeper end. And yeah, I haven't really brought out the baseball bat since the intro. The intro is unabashedly terrible. Most everything else is just, whatever. Okay. We technically could go to EOS again, but let's hold off on that for right now. Now, normally I'd cut off here, but I think there's one other thing we need to do. We need to see those scintillating loading screens one more time.
We've had no trouble, Pathfinder.
A violent illness related to cherry-like.
It might actually be Croatia. That was a lot of negatives for the intro, which I stand by. The intro was terrible. And it's an intro, which means I judge it more harshly than usual. It was long, it was boring, it was uninformative, it barely introduced our characters. We haven't even met the new alien race yet. No, I don't mean the cat. The actual new alien race. The cat are just zombies. Slight spoiler.
Wanted to speak to you.
Wait, what? Who wanted to speak to me? I missed that. Get out of the... T. T is how we're supposed to leave the map. Not escape, not shift, space, right click. No, it's T. Yeah, there's Geth Husks, which is, once again... Yeah, it's zombies. Okay, I don't know who you said. I don't care. I don't even care. Don't care. Don't care. Let's just go. Let's just go. Have I given a negative for controls? That is a good question. I have not.
Make corrections. Sam, are you on this?
Collision is imminent.
Oh yeah, this scene. Gotta meet the big villain. Do you know how hard it is to be directly in the path of something moving FTL?
More.
They've got us pinned against the Scourge.
They are scanning us, Pathfinder.
We'll scan them back!
Where is the one who activated the pendant? Their DNA signature is there. Answer me.
I'm Ryder, captain of this ship and Pathfinder with the initiative.
You'll come with me.
They've lost navigation.
We're being steered into their ship.
Just tell me what you want.
I won't explain what you can't understand.
Ryder, I have almost regained control of the ship. I need a few more seconds.
I actually know a lot about the Remnant. We should compare notes.
Enough! Your defiance is naive and reckless. This day marks the beginning of your greatness.
Sam?
I have plotted a potential course through the Scourge.
Do it! Report!
Enemy destroyed. Damage to aft sensors.
Scourge got it?
Yes.
Get us out of here.
Yeah, do you notice they instantly hacked the ship and took over the ship remotely? Somehow.
It will be tight.
Callow? Yes!
Also, should I even mention that we just had to escape from that thing?
Nice work, kid.
By...
Yeah, but who the hell was that guy?
Ryder, we've got trouble down here. You need to find us a port now.
Great. Where'd we end up, anyway?
Sensors are damaged, but I think we're at the vault's coordinates.
You think? Gil, give it what you can. We're setting down.
Okay, I know that geographic consistency doesn't really matter to most people. But I want you to think about this. We're going FTL through the system. We managed to break out of warp right in front of the ship, who then takes control of us, and then we get free, and we turn around, go back the way we were coming, and we have to do super crazy maneuvers to get through the stuff we just FTL'd through, and now we're at this planet, which is right here. And considering we're going, you know, sublight, the planet has got to be, like, literally right here.
We're visitors from another galaxy. Our intentions are peaceful.
They've sent us a nav point.
Set us down.
By the way, I was just about to say, so you notice how we can't speak the language of the Angara, which is good. That makes sense. There's a logic to that.
Yes.
However, we had no problems talking to the Archon,
It's beautiful.
who spoke our language fluently immediately. Anyways, it's time to finally reach the actual new alien race of this game.
We need in that vault.
Please, you're not really going out there on your own.
We can't afford a repeat of last time. I'm the Pathfinder. First contact is on me.
In other words,
No pressure.
I have the AI that could possibly translate their language.
If this goes badly, if I get eaten alive, even if it's hilarious, please destroy the vids.
You know, if they'd actually leaned into the fact that we're just a kid who has no idea what they're doing, that might have worked better, too. They don't, so it doesn't. But we are hilariously in over our heads, really.
Need me to take my shoes off?
Yeah, this is first contact with an alien race, by the way. Something so big that even Trek understood that this is an entire episode of an idea by itself.
I'm Paran Shai, governor of Aya. We are the Angara.
Hello. I'm a Pathfinder with the initiative.
Yes, You crossed dark space. I've heard of your journey, Joel. I have this in hand.
Ephra saw the ship come in and sent me to find out what's going on.
She's a human from another galaxy. A pathfinder.
Aya is hidden, protected. What do you want?
I apologize. Landing here the way we did, without warning, on fire, was not the plan.
That's good to know, because if it was, that would be a very bad plan. I'll inform Ephra. He'll be waiting for you in his office at the Resistance headquarters. I'll meet you there.
I will accompany you through our city. Your crew will stay on your ship. Follow me. Follow closely. Do not try to explore the city or interact with anyone.
What is that pose?
Ephra's guards will use force if necessary.
Understood. Is it okay to ask you questions?
I suppose.
Keep moving.
Okay. If you're the governor, why do I need to see this Ephra?
He's leader of the Resistance.
What's that?
They fight the Ket and protect us.
What's happening?
I detect unusual levels of electrostatic energy in the Angara.
This is insane. It belongs in a containment cell.
Let Governor Shire handle this.
You don't know what you're doing.
Am I that intimidating?
You're an outsider who invaded our home. We know nothing about you.
I'm not here to cause trouble.
Then keep moving.
I was gonna say, this feels like a Frostbite thing. We know Frostbite doesn't handle normal animations well at all. I wonder how it does rigging, because...
And stop staring.
You know?
That's a human.
None of the local flora register in my data files. We've encountered an undiscovered ecosystem.
Your city is beautiful.
Thank you. You're the first outsider to see it.
I'm honored. What happens if Ephra doesn't like me?
He won't. But you need to earn his trust.
He's responsible for everyone's safety. I know what that's like.
You're a leader.
Hey. Honest. Trying to be.
This is the Resistance headquarters. Ephra is waiting inside.
They are bullies, but this situation is now your fault. Don't get kicked out, Moran, not because of them.
But you're telling me to be weak.
No. I'm telling you to be strong, through your cunning and heart. Okay? Hey.
It really is the best one in the Resistance.
I know.
Our experience with the Ket makes us naturally distrustful of all aliens.
We've had our own run-ins with the cat.
Then you really do understand. When the Archon came to Helios, he demolished our sovereign state. Took what he wanted, as if we were nothing. Now, the Ket mercilessly abduct Angara. Often, we never see our people again. Come this way. Ephra is waiting.
No one was bothered by the pacing of this.
Steal your people?
And the Resistance fights them every day. With everything we can.
Is it attrition? What are they after?
You should save your questions for Ephra. Kadara be damned. I won't lose Fold.
Ephra, this is one of the aliens from the Milky Way. A Pathfinder.
Pathfinder. It's an aggressive move coming to Aya.
It wasn't meant that way. I have an ark full of desperate people counting on me to find them a home before they starve.
Of course, I feel for you and your people. So, Pathfinder, never mind how you even found us. Why are you here?
On a hostile planet we call Eos, I explored an ancient structure, a vault, and brought it back online. It stabilized that planet's environment.
Remnant. Recent intelligence supports that claim.
If I'm right, there's a vault on Aya that's different. I need to look inside.
Are you even going to mention the Archon we literally just encountered?
Right. There's a vault out there, but it was shut years ago and the entrance hidden. We can't help you.
The Moshai could. She's our most revered scientist and elder. She knows this vault.
But now the Ket have her, and our rescue attempts failed. She's lost to us, and you.
Let me show you what I can do. I won't take one step without your approval.
You have no idea what you're dealing with. The Angara learned years ago the perils of messing with vaults. So did the Ket, for that matter. We're done here.
Ephra, I feel... Ephra, what this alien says is extraordinary.
Wow, he has good trigger discipline. Do you see that?
The Moshai would want us to be brave and not let this chance pass.
Joel, you talk too much.
Let me assess this, alien. I'll be your eyes. I know you can spare me.
Go if you want. But when she tries to kill you, be prepared to strike first.
I'm Jal Amaderav. I'll be your envoy through Angaran space.
Thank you for trusting me.
I don't. But I can always kill you in your sleep.
Good to know.
I've organized my analysis of Aya. Shall I relay it to the Nexus?
Definitely.
So I said I was going to lay down early, and that was that time passed like 40 minutes ago. But for real, let me talk about two things that are messed up about that. First is the tone, which isn't there. That was our first contact with an alien species. Or, more accurately, we just met another town of NPCs who just gave us another quest and a new party member. What? Second of all, I noticed something here. Did you track that there was no mention of the fact that we literally just escaped from the Archon and his big ship? Like, so close nearby that we managed to reach this place on sublight? Like, right? You know, oh god, we need to put down to port. We're so damaged. Oh crap. He's right there. It's already forgotten. It's already gone. What do you want to bet that the Archon wasn't originally part of this particular story beat, and they shoved him in because they couldn't think of another place to shove him in to introduce him to the characters or whatever? Oh yeah, the ship's damaged, except that's not going to come up again either. Because it feels so, I'm the villain. Okay, now we're escaped. Okay, let's go land on the planet. And we're good. Yeah, this actually we have a term for this. It's called story sequencing. I legitimately think that's what happened. I think the Archon wasn't even supposed to be there. We were just supposed to go to Angara, and for whatever reason, they decided to do an establishing scene. Bad establishing scene. And here we are.
No, I will.
I'm gonna go lay down, guys. I'll see you in a few.
You really think the Moshai is alive?